so remember to grab a couple bottles next time you shop. Nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. Please celebrate responsibly.
John Ireland here to tell you about my friends at Mirror Audio Video in Westwood. Listen, if you're thinking about upgrading your home or office with the best brands in the world, like Crestron, Nice, Lutron, or Control 4, it's got to be Mirror and no one else. Why? Because for more than 40 years, the biggest names in Hollywood, sports, and business have all trusted Mirror, and so should you. Want to learn more? Call 310-234-4010 or check them out at mirroraudiovideo.com today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Here we go, 12:18 on a Wednesday afternoon. A Dodgers reaction playoff Wednesday.
God.
Everybody who thought I was done at 9 a.m. after I gave it all this
Take
morning.
the rest of the day.
I will in a moment.
Yes.
They had to peel you off the floor. You left it all.
I
out
left
there.
it all. All of it. Every sticky drop was left this morning. And when I say sticky, I mean the hatred that I have for Dave Roberts.
I'm very
Oh,
glad
I thought you were talking about because you were dipping this morning.
No, I had the zin in.
The Zin.
It's
I don't
very
know if
much
that's-
worth you clarifying.
Yeah,
the
I don't know if
sticky
that's
thing.
called dip anymore. I think that's just a zin.
A pouch.
Like Kobe Walsh. He's got 2 zins in his
No,
mouth.
does he really?
Right
Wow.
now. You go over there, that kid's zinning.
He's rolling.
Meanwhile, we're going to zin, we're going to zang, we're going to yin and yang. The biggest show on the radio, Mason in Ireland. Your Wednesday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
But is it really?
I feel bad for Corporate Greg, who's got his headphones on,
Yeah, I
because
do.
he has to hear my voice yet again.
Yeah,
and he heard a lot of it this morning.
Yeah,
was a lot of
I
it.
heard part of the show. There's Alana Morales and some smart stuff from Bergman.
Yeah, he was
Guess
screaming
what?
a lot.
That's the new morning show. next
Tired?
week.
Are you tired?
Yeah.
Mace, aren't
that's
you
all I
tired
heard.
of this?
Tired of.
I took people to church, but Travis was great at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
I was going, amen, Brother
Yeah.
Travis.
Now, we are all on the, if this goes wrong.
Not Andy.
Andy's not. If
Andy's
this
not.
goes wrong, let's make a change.
Yes.
Take me to church.
Amen. Let's get rid of that sinner, Dave Roberts, and put him away.
Good
Quite the
Lord.
sinner.
He's a
Well, he's a
very
baseball
nice guy.
sinner.
He's
Oh,
a
he's-
very nice guy.
he's nice guy,
And
Dave.
who I would like to see replaced if they go out.
Well, they're
by the
going
way,
out.
Last year,
They're
I
going
wanted-
out.
No, they're not.
Come on.
They don't. Why do you just assume that they can't win a game? Why do you
They
assume
can
that
win
this
one
team
game.
That's okay. That's what they need right
You're
now.
gonna
They
win
need
2
one.
games?
And then they come home. You need to win 1 game to get down to 1 game.
Mace, you can maybe convince me USC can run the
convinced-
table. You can maybe convince me that the Rams with Sean McVay somehow sneak into the playoffs. You cannot convince me that this baseball team with this manager and this attitude can do anything but take it like they've taken it the last 3 years. Take it, Key, take it, which is out of the playoffs.
Now, do you not feel like you're being
I feel the blood flowing all
preemptive?
again.
Don't you feel like you're preemptive? Like this thing isn't over.
It's over.
You're behaving
like
as though
Greg
it's
this
over.
morning.
It's not
It's
not
not
over.
over.
They need
Take
one
off the
win.
hat, Morales. Take
Tell me
off the
that-
hat.
tell
Take
me
it
that-
off.
No.
Tell me that baseball
Take it
team
off.
cannot
'Cause I
win
am-
1 game.
They can't. They can't
They
win
can
more than 1
absolutely
game.
Worry about Friday, but they got to win 1 game.
It's over.
One game at a time.
One game
at a
tonight.
time.
Win 1 game to win 1 game to go to the NLCS.
Listen to that post-game sound from Dave and Freddie last night. They're done. They are done. Now, that's pretty much how Dave sounds all the time because he has no emotion.
Well, no,
he's got the flat line, which we were playing a lot this
By
morning.
the way,
the flat line.
that whole
Oh,
team
my.
is flatlining. That whole team is flatlining right now.
The oh my was when DeAndre told me he had size 14 shoes yesterday afternoon.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Didn't know. He talks about it all the time.
I didn't know because he wants boot. We were talking about giving him boots. I said, well, I can take you to the boot barn. What size are you? Because I think they said, can you borrow your boots? I said, I don't think so. I'm a size 12. But then he said, I'm a size 14.
Whoa.
Oh, my.
Oh, my. That's right. Oh, my.
Oh, boy.
And then I said, I need pepperoni off his body. Oh, my.
Yeah, I don't know why
That's
we need
gross.
that.
I don't picture him comfortable with that.
Yeah,
was
no, I
actually-
don't picture anybody comfortable with that.
He was exploratory.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to explore that. I think that's an exploration he's going to skip. So
You know who should be cooked like pepperoni and taken out?
Don't tell me, Dave
No,
Roberts.
maybe Andrew Fraudman.
Andrew.
We had a listener say that this morning. I hadn't heard that before.
But no, that goes around. The Andrew. A lot of people. There are people who blame Andrew Friedman. I'm like, all Andrew Friedman can do is to put together the best team possible to win in the marathon.
But did
the
he?
sprint is up to Dave.
But did he actually put together the best team for the playoffs? Bringing in a guy like Tyler Glass now that you know there's a really good chance he would not be available. Yamamoto giving him $300 million, knowing he's never pitched this many games at this type of pace against these type of batters. Like, this was a year where in a lot of ways it felt like Andrew Friedman went very uncharacteristic of some of the decisions that he makes.
It is almost comical the number of starting pitchers that they've lost this year.
But
it's young guys. It's Glass now. It's Gavin Stone.
But here's
it's
the thing,
Clayton Kershaw. It's everybody.
But here's what I'm getting at, though. Heading into this season, when you brought in Yamamoto and Glasnow, you knew that some of these young guys had a recovery ahead of them, and there were question marks about them. And your big acquisitions were other guys with question marks. They were splashy, they were big names, but they also had question marks. And that's what I'm getting at before with the idea of firing Dave Roberts. You want to fire Dave, fire him. To me, that's sort of missing the point, though. If you're not taking a longer look at everything else, then you're just turning Dave Roberts into a blood sacrifice and a broken-up bobblehead.
So here's the way I would figure this out. When I'm listening to the radio and I'm punching around the dial, I tend to land on the station that has the most energy. That's usually us. We usually have the most energy.
We
here
are
at
an
710.
energetic radio
This
station.
is energy.
We want to pull you through the radio and make you feel it.
Who's got the? If you look at those two dugouts, who's got the energy?
Padres.
Yeah,
Padres.
exactly. Why?
It's just the personality of one team versus the personality of the other. I mean, we're
But
talking about,
you think a manager plays no role in that?
I think it plays some role, but I think mostly it's just how these guys are wired. Manny Machado.
I can't do it.
Manny Machado.
You're a Lakers fan. Phil Jackson, Pat Riley.
Phil
These are people
Jackson
that
sat on his chair doing nothing.
But what did he do?
He was
What
playing
did he do
mind
before
games.
the game?
He was playing mind
He
games.
would do that whistle.
What did he do before the game? What did he do?
Never
wasn't
yell.
screaming at people.
He wasn't screaming, but
wasn't screaming.
he created he did his chakra.
He had
and
his
all
thing, his zen-y thing.
His zen thing.
Yeah, he was very zen.
Yeah, he also had
zen-y
Kobe
man.
and Shaq. And then he had Kobe and Powell.
And guess what?
And he
Dave
had
Roberts
Michael
has
and Scotty
Shohei
and Rodman,
Ohtani, $1 billion.
who'd never been in the postseason
And he
before.
struck out in
He's
the
in
eighth
a
inning.
two-game slump.
I'm just saying, we'd never seen him in
Terrible
the
time for a
postseason.
two-game
Great
slump.
time for a slump. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody could motivate him. Who would that be?
Do you really think Shohei Ohtani's not motivated now?
Well,
You
like
need
you
that
honestly
other thing.
think that's the problem?
There's
He's not
obviously some
motivated.
problem. They're losing for the third straight year
This is the problem.
in the first round to an NL West
You
opponent.
cannot continue to bang your head into the wall year after year
Clearly you
without doing something about
At least
it.
Chidi Bus fires coaches.
Yes, she does. She does.
Well, that's clearly landed on the solution.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel better?
Look, after a
Andy,
decade, it's
sometimes
gonna pay
you
off.
Andy, you know this. Sometimes you were a bartender. Why did people come in there for a drink? For a Rob Roy.
Rob Roy.
Like bartending in the
That would
40s.
Yeah.
That's what you land on.
Rob
Rob
Roy.
Roy.
They need
Yeah.
a nicely chilled Rob Roy, a
Rob Roy.
a Marlboro Red, and they just need to feel better. And we need to feel better.
Look, again, you want to turn Roberts into a blood sacrifice, go for it. But if that's where you leave it, you're going to be dealing with the same
It's
thing
not a
next
blood
year.
sacrifice. He's been here for a decade.
Sure.
A decade. There
again.
comes a time when you just change.
Fine. But it shouldn't be limited to just that.
John
That's my
Ireland
point.
told a story yesterday about Pat Riley was at 85, gave a speech
think I've
to
heard this.
motivate it, probably. And Mace and I looked at each other.
Oh
like-
my God.
Mace and I looked at each other.
We heard the story before, guys.
Because Ireland was basically saying that has to happen tonight. with Dave Roberts. And we looked at each other like, yeah, that's not
I
happening.
looked
with Dave
in
Roberts.
Dave's eyes and I saw fire.
Well, you guys, I'm done.
Yeah.
I put it all out there.
You laid it all out
Andy,
there.
wipe me off.
Yeah,
Shohei's now
congratulations.
naked. I think that's DeAndre's job.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Have a good show, guys.
All right, thank you very much. There is Chris Morales, who will be on the station again any second now.
I have a question for you guys.
It was unsettling.
Hang on a second. I just wanted to play this one thing.
It was unsettling.
It was unsettling. Last night was unsettling. I agree with
was.
Dave.
It sure was.
Marv?
But all right, so you guys are saying that Dave Roberts should be that guy. We know he's not that guy to motivate his guys, whatever. We don't see any fire. So why doesn't a player step up and do it? Like, if you need someone to motivate your squad, I get it. It should be
We're
your
talking
manager.
about
but
MVP level
just saying.
players that all of a sudden need a manager to hold their hand like they need a binky.
No.
Like,
Not
come
that I'm backing up Dave Roberts here, because I have yelled fire Dave Roberts before, many times before I even worked here. But my thing is, he hasn't been bad this postseason. It's just been a bad few games.
But there's a temperament issue. I think it's about temperament and approach. And I just think they are a team that wears a three-piece suit, and the Padres, I think DeMarco said, are wearing
jorts.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Has Dave Roberts done anything wrong in this series?
I do think
This series.
In this series, I do think he should have, regardless of the rule, gone out and questioned, or at least had a conversation with an umpire about the Manny Machado.
But
moment.
if you know the rule,
Fight.
as he did,
Fight.
But for what? What is the reason? I know
Do you think-
you and Travis were arguing about this.
Right,
It doesn't do anything, and that's not him.
It does. It can give a team a spark.
But
it
could
can
just as easily
shape-
have these guys going like, dude, it's legal. I want to get
By the
back
way,
to the game.
Everybody knows.
I watch a lot
Freddie
of
said it
baseball. I
afterwards.
didn't know it was legal.
Freddie did.
A-Rod and Derek Jeter and David Ortiz and Kevin Burkhardt didn't know it was a rule.
You know what, though? All these former players, the minute they become announcers,
Yes.
they all forget the rules.
Yep.
Like, all these guys forget the rules of baseball.
Okay, so this is
Freddie Freeman after the game said, "That's exactly here. I got it for you. Here you go."
I've looked at it many, many times, replayed it in my head many times. Or taught as base runners, I would have done the same thing as a base runner to banana it. But usually you're supposed to do it after one or two steps in the dirt and go. But I would have done the same thing as a base runner. And, I'm really far in the grass, and he got really far in the grass. I can certainly say I wouldn't do anything different at first. I thought I made a perfect throw and just clipped his left shoulder and he bananaed enough into the line. That's what we're taught as base runners, to get into the line, and he did it there.
The guy that did it is basically saying to Dave Roberts, "Yeah, I know. It was
Okay.
the right play.
Let
What is
me-
it going to do if he goes out there and starts screaming and going? It's
gonna
fake.
make him look
It's
like an
fake.
idiot.
No,
it's fake.
It's not fake.
It is.
By the way, there
Because
was
they
not
knew.
even a question. There was not even a conversation. There was not even. I mean, honestly, and
the first element really started is Manny Machado, right? He gets on, and it looked like certainly something he did on purpose, which turned out to be brilliant. Got in the way of Freddie Freeman's throw. We were talking whether or not it was interference,
That's Burkhardt.
and it was not. And guess what? It kind of was the dam that broke the start of the whole thing.
Yeah, Freeman, he's played that ball
Hey,
beautifully. He made a really nice play. He has a lane right at the shortstop, and that lane is supposed to be his. Machado, it turns out, made a brilliant play because the umpires did not call it. So it was a smart play. But the umpires could have called it the other way, and that may change not only the complexion of that inning, but the entire ballgame.
And here's Jeter.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I've never seen that happen and not be called interference. To your point, brilliant by Manny because they didn't call it interference. But Freddie did exactly what he could. All he could do was make the throw, but no one saw it. And I think what was more confusing is no one even asked about it.
Right.
No one even brought it up. I found that to be a little bit confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
They're wrong.
Well, wait a minute. I'm watching the game. It takes them a couple of minutes to even explain what happened.
Sure.
And I think that at that point, Dave needs to do something to wake his team up.
But
and
they were woken up. They scored 4 runs in the next inning.
I know,
I'm
but
with
they
Andy.
didn't score again.
Yeah, but it's still
They
happened
didn't score
right
again.
after
Do you
that.
really think Dave Roberts yelling is going to last for 7 innings?
No,
with
I
an
don't
effect?
think it's going to. But something's got to change
Order of operations here, Mace.
when you are moving at this sort of somnambulant pace.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Nice
Does
word.
That mean something somnambulant?
Is that an ambulance?
No. Do you know what it means?
Well, I take a sleep medicine called Ambien, so I'm assuming
Somnambulant.
it has to do with
it's
sleeping.
they're
I
asleep.
could've used that last
Somnambulant. Exactly.
In
When the
Spanish,
team is
somnambulo.
somnambulant, who thought I would say that on the show today? Something's got to change. You got to do something to shake it up. You got to do
Here's
something.
the thing. If Miguel Rojas does not make a really, frankly, stupid play
I agree.
on that double, we're not even having this conversation.
right.
They get out of the inning, and we just talk about, whoa, that was weird. That was a weird sequence with Freddie and Machado.
Right.
Like, yell at Rojas, not at Dave
Well,
Roberts.
yeah, and Rojas is limited because of the oblique injury, and
not
maybe
limited in
he
his
shouldn't have
brain.
been out
Flip the
there at
ball.
all. You've got Tommy Edman who can play short. He probably makes that play.
The oblique, the groin issues that he
Flip
has
the ball.
did not change the fact that he caught the ground ball. He should have just flipped it. That didn't affect anything there.
Well,
that
then
was
why
his
did he
fault.
leave the game right after that?
No, because he shouldn't have ran to second base. He should have flipped it to Gavin Lux,
He had
and
a
that
better
would have been the
chance
end
of
of it.
hurting himself running to second. than if
Right.
he just
Oh,
flipped the
it was
ball.
not a good. But
It was a
I mean,
dumb
he's a
play.
great defender. It's a terrible play.
That was a brain
it's
fart.
It's also obviously he's limited somewhat by injury. The injury had to play a role in
Sure.
that because he exited the game right
Right.
afterwards.
It did play a role. It didn't play a role in that specific sequence. He did come out of the game because he
He'd
should have
been
been in
running,
there.
and
Yeah, he
his
hurt himself
hamstring
running.
started
Yes,
coming up again.
rounding third. Yeah. No matter what, this isn't. I agree with the fact that if they lose the series, that Dave Roberts should be gone. I just don't think that was anything to do with Dave Roberts. And in this whole entire series against the Padres so far has nothing to do with Dave
And yet,
Roberts.
then why would you change?
Because
why would you make
what-
any
because
change?
at-
If Dave
I'll-
Roberts has done nothing wrong, why would you change anything?
No,
Greg
nothing
Bergman?
wrong in this series. Over the entire time, no matter what, if you're going to lose 3 times in a row in the NLDS to 3 division opponents
Right.
and only win twice,
Yeah.
2 wins total in 3 years, you should be gone.
Then Dave is doing something wrong. You're saying he didn't do anything wrong. He's doing something wrong for the same result
Years
happened
past-
3 years in a row.
Years past, he has done things wrong. Lance Lynn was a terrible
So
decision.
you're going to fire him for
I'm gonna-
last year?
No, from the entire body of work, yes, but I'm not firing him because of this year. He has not done anything wrong in this series to do that is warranted of like that was a mess up.
I think what
there
Greg's
is
saying
no
is
mess up.
sometimes fair ain't got nothing to do with
Exactly.
Well,
it has nothing
and
to
yet
do with it.
he wants him gone if they
it.
lose.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Fair ain't got nothing to do with
Right.
it.
It has absolutely nothing to do with it. Over the last 8-9 years, the 9 years that he's been here, they have one World Series in a strike-shortened year, or not strike-shortened, but
Why do you add that?
Because
I don't
it's
think we
true.
should add that
No matter
anymore.
what, it's true.
Sure, but why
agree.
not
Everybody
just say
had
it's
it.
a
Everybody
World
had it
Series title?
Because you have to give it a qualifier, unfortunately.
I do not give it any qualifier. A championship is a championship, and in a lot of
I
ways, that was
agree.
more difficult than
I mean,
your
the
average
81
baseball
the
title.
81 team, the Dodgers, they won in a shortened season.
Oh, you're right. That was a strike-shortened
Yeah.
season. Yeah. Do you say that?
If it was strike-shortened, yes.
So
Sure.
81 they won, but it was a strike-shortened season. Yeah, exactly.
Been up for a long time.
Yeah, you've been up for a long time. All right, let me. We're sort of off the rails here to start, and I don't friggin' care. We're gonna take some calls today. If you're fired up, can I just say we're jumping to the conclusion that they're not going to win.
You guys are.
This team is capable of winning tonight.
Absolutely.
This team can absolutely extend the series and get back home to Dodger Stadium on Friday. So let's not set sail on the whole effing thing. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN. Why are we where we are? Why are we where we are? We'll get some of your calls coming up next. In the meantime, hey, I talk about Jacob Marani all the time on the show. He was here yesterday, in fact, to play Game of Games. Proud partner of the Rams, the Lakers, and LAFC. You see him at all those games. And here's the thing about Jacob. Not all personal attorney injuries are going to treat you the same. So, for example, if you're in an accident, you hire an attorney, some big law firm says, it's not worth too much. And so they farm it out to a smaller, less experienced firm. Imagine if that is you. You think you're hiring one person, and then they got some rookie handling your case. That's another reason why if you're in an accident, call Jacob. Every case is equally important. And let's face it, who do you want dealing with the insurance company, Jacob or maybe some guy that's just out of law school. Don't take the risk. If you're injured in an accident, call Jacob. Get the medical care you need and the compensation that you deserve. When you call an attorney, you want one who is respected. Call Jacob. He's the real deal. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
CallJacob.com. Make sure you're following him on Instagram and on Facebook at call.jacob. And when you call Jacob, make sure you tell him Mason and Shadano from 710 ESPN sent you. Mason, Ireland, 710.
Never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Hey guys, it's Cappy here, and I want to talk about my friend Avner Gatt, a public adjuster. Now, many of you guys have asked me, why Avner Gatt? What makes his team so unique at handling insurance claims? So let me tell you something. I've been working with Avner and his team for a while. I can tell you this. Avner Gatt has a dynamic team that's highly effective and successful because these folks come from a very diverse background in the insurance industry. For example, some of them used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team. Yes, they actually chose to switch sides when they realized the effectiveness of Avner's team's work. Some of them used to be in the restoration business, rebuilding homes after disasters. Some of them used to be in the contents handling business, moving homeowners' belongings to a safe place for restoration and storage. Some of them were experts in hazardous materials handling, like asbestos and lead testing. That was their daily work. And some of them were members of law firms handling bad faith claims and general business disputes. You see, diversification is the name of the game. When you are represented by Avner Gatt's team, you have the entire team's experience and know-how by your side. No one, and I mean no one, messes with Avner Gatt and his team. So call Avner Gatt right now. 818-917-5256. 818-917-5256. That's AvnerGatt.com. AVNERGAT. AvnerGatt.com. When you call him directly, Avner Gatt and his family, they take the calls themselves. Avner Gatt says, hello.
Everyone knows Earl Hershiser has won numerous awards for his performance on the field. But off the field, he's a great humanitarian, a true friend and partner of mine, and a real bulldog when it comes to business.
Baseball taught me to work hard and respect people. Rolo Chevrolet does both, and that's why I joined the team.
Rolo Chevrolet has been Dealer of the Year for 12 straight years. Like Earl, we know something about winning.
I believe they call that a dynasty.
Come see what the fun is all about at Rolo Chevrolet.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
There you go. Coming back tonight.
It was unsettling.
It was unsettling what happened last night.
So unsettling.
Dodgers down 2-1 in this series. And there are lots of places to point. But I think generally I look at the two teams, and again, I see one that has a whole bunch of energy. a whole bunch of swagger, a whole bunch of cockiness, a whole bunch of we're having fun doing this. And I feel like the Dodgers are checking in at the office.
So let's just go game by game for a little bit.
Okay.
Here. So in the first game, the Padres went up 3-0. Obviously,
correct.
They're going to have a lot of fun. They're going crazy. They scored 5 runs. In the next game, they stole a home run from Mookie Betts so that that would have. Of course, you can be excited. You're going to be up. They scored 10 runs in that game.
Right.
Then last night, how many runs they scored? They scored 6 runs.
Right.
They're scoring consistently and over and over and over again. Of course, they're going to have a lot more energy.
Well,
of course, they're going to be
go
hyped
back
up.
to game 2. Before there was ever even a lead, they were punking Dodger fans. Taunting.
But that's what they do.
Dodger
That's an
fans
all-season
wrong
long
for
thing.
throwing crap out on the field.
But that was later in the game.
But the beginning, starting with Profar and all the way through, you had Tatis and Profar taunting the fans.
So you think that the Dodgers will be winning the series if Mookie Betts was taunting the fans in right field?
I mean, what's happening is not working now.
Right.
But
Andy,
also
are you with me?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying loose. They're so.
Well, the thing is, Mace, they have. Sorry, like the Dodgers have a lot of pressure. They've been the team that everyone said they're going to win. They're going to the World Series. This roster is amazing. And on paper, they're the winners, right? A lot of people have said that. The Padres were like, they're good until now people are saying, hey, they might win the World Series. So you have a team that's wound up because they're supposed to win. Then you have another team who's good, but they weren't, given the, you are going to win.
Yeah, here's the
things.
thing about this series that is mind-boggling. The Padres have a better roster.
Yeah.
I mean,
certainly right
we
now.
We spent a cool $1 billion, and they've got a better roster.
We went through this before the series started. Who had the better pitching staff? You said the Padres. Who had the better bullpen? We said the Padres.
Although our bullpen has been good.
Our bullpen has been almost perfect, besides the guys that just like the guys at the end of the roster.
Yeah, on game 2.
Edgardo Henriquez and Michael Grove and those types of guys. I don't count in my mind.
No.
The ones that actually matters, the Trinans, the Kopechs, the Vezias, those type of people, those guys matter. And if you go through our roster, we're just as good. 1 through 9, we're right there. And they've been pretty much showing it for the most part.
Right.
It's just that they are they came into the series as the team that does not strike out. The team that just gets on base. The team that just has a couple of guys that hit home runs, opposed to us being the team that hits a lot of home runs over and over
This
again.
is why I don't think, the whole fire thing matters with the Dodgers, or like the idea of the Padres are having fun, the Dodgers aren't. Because of course they are. The Padres are winning right now. The Dodgers all season have been the team that does like the little dance celebration every time they get on base.
True. They do
every
the Freddie,
team does
right?
that. They
Everybody's
do
got a
this
thing, or tap your head, or whatever it
plenty
is.
Of that stuff. If anything, like when people talk about lacking fire, that to me sounds like a team that doesn't care. I don't think the problem for the Dodgers is they don't care. If anything, I think they may care too much.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
they're tightening up.
They're wound too tight.
Right. They're wound too tight.
That's probably
and
fair.
If
Yeah.
they're wound too tight, the answer isn't going to be just performative screaming. Like Mookie Betts, when he won 2 different World Series, including the one with the Dodgers, this was his personality. This was Freddie Freeman's personality when he won a World Series with Atlanta.
None of it's changed.
This is how these guys are, and they've won plenty behaving like this.
Okay, so a couple of tweets I wanted to get to. Richard Ferragrino. You couldn't ask for anything more from Bueller. The whole point, you need to argue the call because Padres players were feeding off the crowd. You need to interrupt the surge somehow.
So
I actually agree with that.
I understand the sentiment. However, the next batter, the very next batter,
right,
grounded. Oh, actually, it would have been the very next
should
batter,
have been
grounded into a
should have been a double play,
and that would you would have gotten 1 run to score,
right.
And then
we would have just been talking about that weird play with Freddie and Machado.
Exactly. So it was a bad play by Rojas that changed that entire thing.
And that's also why I don't think Roberts needed to go out there and screaming, because at that moment, nothing bad had happened.
Bueller was perfectly fine in that moment. He induced a double play ball. He induced a ground ball.
You know what I mean? Like the team didn't act. We're reacting to what Roberts didn't react to after it had already happened.
In the end, we're reacting to what isn't happening.
It's all hindsight.
And apparently Buehler laid into those guys. And you know what? Buehler had a right to, because he's pitching his ass off, and all these guys behind him are making mistakes. But that was authentic.
It's interesting to watch Buehler because he is going to have to become a different pitcher. He was a different pitcher last night. He's forcing ground balls, but
he pitched to contact.
No strikeouts last night. And by the way, it's hard not to pitch to contact when you're playing the Padres. They've got the best batting average in all of baseball. They've got the lowest strikeout rate in all of baseball. It's hard to get those guys out. They're always going to put the ball in play, and that's exactly what they did last night.
All these things that we're talking about, it all points to, and by the way, 22 of 27 writers at ESPN picked the Padres to win this World Series or win this series. The Fox pregame show, 3 of the 4 guys on that pregame show picked the Padres to win this series.
That is correct.
They were the favorite from the beginning. No matter what happens, all these things pointed to the Padres.
But that's not true. The Dodgers were favored at the beginning of the series.
Vegas, but
by
all of
Vegas.
the experts,
they are
picked
huge.
the Padres.
They were huge underdogs last night, and they're huge underdogs again tonight in Vegas. So they're in a really tough spot. Some people are saying you guys gave up too easily. You're off the bandwagon. Soft radio show. I don't know about that.
Who's off the bandwagon?
I'm still saying they're going to win.
Well, we are dwelling an awful lot on Dave being fired. we are projecting.
To be fair to this tweeter, that's been something dwelled on for like a year and a half.
Yeah, for a year and a half.
Like 3 years, I think.
Last year, throughout the years,
and also it's the topic of conversation after you're down 2-1 in a series when we lost the last 2.
Okay, let's sneak one call in here. Let's go to Ken in Newport Beach. Hey, Ken, you're on 710. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, love listening to you all. So, after they were down 6-1, they did an interview, the network did, with Dave Roberts, and I wrote it down. They asked him, did you consider taking Buehler out? His response was, well, we got a bullpen game coming up, so I want to save the pitcher. So basically, Dave Roberts admitted quitting, and then after the grand slam home run, the team was 1 for 21 because they quit on you, Dave. On the way back, I hope they drop you off at La Jolla where you live and tell you never to come back. That was on Dave Roberts. He quit on the team.
All right, there you go. By the way, I disagree with most of that.
Including, I don't think that's actually what Dave said.
By the way, and if you
he wrote it down. He wrote it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he transcribed
if
it.
you've got in the case of Buehler, he pitched him exactly the amount of time he should have been pitched.
Yeah.
Right, and he even went. I didn't like that he went third time through the lineup, but it worked.
Yeah, I did. We were in the group chat. We were talking about. You said I don't like Buehler here. It was very much like yes, let him keep.
But
going.
even then,
he was fine.
They made a smart decision too. Like remember, I forgot who it was. The lefty that they began pitching to.
Bonda?
But then they ended up walking him. The intentional walk. Like so, where basically you remove the matchup.
Oh yeah,
issue.
Correct.
You're talking about Merrill.
Jackson Merrill.
Ended up going righty. Like he was managing in that moment. Like they made a decision midway through the bat. We're going to stop pitching to him. We're just going to put him on base. Create an out situation at first, second, and third, and it worked out.
Yeah, I want to just Ken from Newport. I know you usually go towards the negative.
Ken's
side,
on hold again.
Oh, hi. Ken. Just leave him there for a little bit.
Ken has more comments.
There is no way
he's on hold for after tomorrow's game.
It's going to be
on
for
line
Sedano.
11.
It's going to be
Just
for
put him on
Sedano
hold.
Cap.
Tomorrow.
He'll still be
back
there
to
in the morning
Ken.
for me and you, Andy.
In fairness, Ken is a really good Dodger fan.
He loves the Lakers. He loves the Dodgers. He calls a lot. He's got his opinions. It's fine.
Ken, line
However,
11, go.
there is zero chance that team quit on Dave Roberts.
I don't think they quit on Dave
There's no
Roberts.
way that they sat there and said, you know what? Sorry, Dave, you didn't go out there and talk to the umpire, so we don't want to win this game. That's it. We're out. It's over. We're going to swing and miss at pitches because we gave up on Dave.
That's
and by the way,
nonsense.
In the fifth inning, it was a foot or two that Shohei Ohtani just missed timing that game.
Just missed.
I mean, yes, it didn't go over
It
the
was
wall.
so frustrating watching the end of that game because the Padres come with 100-mile-an-hour guy after 100-mile-an-hour guy after. I mean, that Tanner Scott, Shohei Ohtani. I mean, Ohtani was no match for that fastball in that moment.
0 for 3 in his career against Tanner Scott with 3 strikeouts.
Yeah. And that's what we got last night. All right, get some of your calls coming back. Andy's here. Bergman's here. Dodgers down 2-1 at Petco Park tonight. It is the mighty bullpen game. Hey,
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
Win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Stella, Brate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Hey, LA, let's talk trash. Food waste, that is. Tossing your food scraps in the regular trash sends them to landfills where they release harmful gases like methane. Fight global warming by simply sorting your food scraps and placing them in your green bin. It's quick, it's easy, it helps protect our planet. Ready to do your part? Visit cleanla.com or call 888-CLEAN-LA for more tips. This message funded by Cal Recycle.
Hey, it's Mace. There's a lot on the line in this election, from protecting the Social Security you've earned to supporting family caregivers. And you have the power to make the candidates listen, because voters 50 and over decide elections. That's why AARP California has created an election guide with the most up-to-date information about when, where, and how to vote. Get trusted election information at aarp.org/CA votes. That's aarp.org/CA votes. Paid for by AARP.
Just like in sports, you can never predict an accident. It will come when you least expect it. Travis Rogers here with DeMarco Farr to tell you about our friend, Joseph S. Normand.
If you're in any accident, call Joseph at 213-747-2000. The team at Normand Legal is ready to help you and achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Joseph at 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. The law office of Joseph S. Normand.
Hey, John Ireland here. If you're looking to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. They'll make you a cash offer, no need for repairs. They buy as is. With Seller's Advantage, there are no agents. They can close in days, and they buy with cash. They'll even offer a $10,000 advance to help with moving and other expenses. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, and visit sellersadvantage.com.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams. This is Mason and Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
Oh, wheel. Laura.
All right, guys. I'm not. Damn. Already?
That was Luke Robitaille.
Already. Okay. Tough crowd today.
Yeah,
tough crowd.
Well, we're all in a bad friggin' mood, Laura.
Clearly, everybody in that room is in a bad mood, because everybody on this side of the glass is in a great mood.
No,
so.
you guys must have missed the game last
No,
night.
man. I was drinking through the game and drank myself to sleep last night, so
all right.
I'm in a good mood.
Good.
Anyways, so my wheel, I made it land here because I need some advice.
Okay.
Okay?
You made it land there.
Yes, I did.
You rigged the game, Laura?
How
did.
dare you rig it?
I rigged it. I did.
Normally, it is just randomly what comes up, and now
It is
you
randomly.
you tell us. Okay, so
Yeah.
what's the question?
Anyways, focus.
Yeah, I'm focusing.
Okay, so I wanted to go to the Dodger game last night. Unfortunately, I couldn't go, and I'm actually kind of glad I didn't go. But tonight, I had said that if they lost, I was not going to go. But now I'm kind of wanting to be brave. Should I go to the game tonight?
It was unsettling.
You know what? Laura, think you should.
I'm being
go to
dead
the game.
serious.
Right, I'm dead serious
This is why
too.
I made it land here.
I'm dead serious too. What's interesting is normally it's a Dodger invasion at Petco Park. It doesn't seem like there's a gigantic Dodger
didn't let us.
contingency, right? Because they use that geo thing where you couldn't get tickets
on
and all
the
that
secondary
stuff.
No,
market,
but they're
like
expensive,
Pantone 294 trying to get down there with all their guys probably.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to
Didn't work
Vivid,
out.
you can go to StubHub, you can buy it in the
Pick
secondary
picks.
market, but you
Yeah.
can't buy it direct. Laura, I think you should go.
Okay,
You could be there for history.
Here's my series of questions, and I
Okay.
really mean this.
Okay.
Had you originally planned on going to both games?
No.
You'd only planned on going to one.
Yes.
Had you had a strong preference as to which one?
Last night.
Okay, because I feel like you messed up the Cosmos by not going with
Oh,
your
don't blame
original-
it on me.
No, but I'm saying there's a chance to flip it all back, flip the sliding doors back to where they should have been, and that's you going. That's you actually going.
I'm just
to
thinking of
game
the
tonight.
time, once I get out of here
So-
to get to San Diego.
Well, I'm thinking about the Dodgers.
So I'm thinking about the Dodgers, and I'm thinking about how many Dodger games have you gone to this
This year?
Yeah.
I think if one, maybe two.
Yeah.
I haven't
Okay.
gotten
Just
to
one or
the-
two.
What was your record while you were there?
They won.
They won both the times you were
Yes.
there. Then you should absolutely go.
I'm pretty lucky when I go to games. When I was going to the Laker games, they were winning.
So then go to the game. When it gets to 3 o'clock, 3:15, just get in your car, go down to San Diego, get inside.
Yeah, I would say go. I think it's fun. And plus,
Who wants to go with me?
You'll be. Yeah, who wants to go?
Who's going with
Who's
me?
with Laura?
You got to pay for your own ticket.
We're
No
going
one's going with me.
streaking. Brian, you going down?
On any other day. I'll be there Friday. How about that when we come back in LA?
Oh yeah.
Well, see, that was the other
Yeah,
thing.
you know what? I'm going to get Game 5 tickets right now.
You should.
Let's be very optimistic.
That's
Let's all
right.
get our Game 5 tickets and wish this into existence. Let's manifest
Or
something.
should we all go game 5?
So I fully believe that they're winning tonight. Are you not with me? I fully believe they will.
I always believe they're going to win. I have faith in the talent on that run. I have faith that Mookie Betts got it turned around last night. I have faith that Shohei Ohtani is not going to go hitless for a third straight game.
He got a hit yesterday.
Oh, a hit yesterday, yeah. He did have a hit yesterday.
He did.
But I think that their bullpen is their strength, so I don't mind a bullpen game.
Their bullpen is their strength, and I feel like we saw yesterday in the Mets game that Sean Manaea went 7 innings
I know.
shutout ball,
Yep.
which was just wild to me.
Yep.
There's always that random guy that gets that 7 innings. Why can't Landon Knack be that guy?
This is the Landon Knack game. We're going to remember
Yeah.
this as the Landon Knack game.
People, years from now, we'll talk about the year the Dodgers turned it around in the 2024 playoffs, and it all came down to Landon Knack.
Landon Knack. It will probably be Ryan Brazier that has the first inning and then Landon Knack.
Right.
But this could very
we're
well
going
be
to
a
forget
Landon
all
Knack.
about Brazier.
No,
This is going to be the
Brazier.
Landon Knack
Nobody
game.
remembers
honestly,
the guy
if you
that
think
pitches
about-
the first.
So it's Dylan Cease, right? He pitched on Saturday.
Yep.
The Dodgers got to him on Saturday. They got him out very early. After 3 innings, they got him out. They were patient with him. He was all around the strike zone. It's the exact same kind of feeling that I had for Michael King and Dylan Cease. It should be the same thing tonight. They should be able to get to Dylan Cease. They've done it twice in a row now.
Yeah, they have. I'm looking at the Dodgers versus Dylan Cease. Who's hit Dylan Cease really well?
So I have it here. I think Shohei has a pretty good record against
Please
him.
don't tell me Rojas.
Shohei's 5 for
17
17 with 3 home runs
and 7 RBIs.
and 7 RBIs.
That's pretty good.
And by the way, they all hit him well.
Kike
They're batting
Hernandez.
270 against
right.
Dylan Cease.
Yep. Kike run and 2 doubles.
This could be a game
Freddie
where Kike
Freeman,
plays.
which I don't know if he's playing or not, but he's 5
5
of
of
11 with a
11.
double with 2 RBIs. I mean, they do hit Dylan Cease well, especially over the last 2 games.
Yes. Yeah, I feel they've had an 808 OPS in terms of against Dylan Cease. So, I mean, I think that it's there. It is there for them to win. And I think tonight is a Shohei Ohtani night.
Oh, I hope so, because it hasn't been the last 2 nights.
It has not been. But I still believe that under the brightest of lights, with the world's attention, literally the world's attention on him, I think he'll deliver tonight.
Yep, so do I.
They lost by 1 run. We're not talking about game 2, where they just
Right.
absolutely got obliterated. They lost by 1 run, and the 1 inning that fell apart for them had all sorts of weird, likely unrepeatable stuff happening in it.
Right.
Ground ball after ground ball that they just couldn't get guys out on.
Or they just
made bad decisions.
They
Bad
just hit it in the
decisions.
right spot.
Like, I mean, that's baseball, but at the same time, that's what you have to be able to get through those innings. You have to. But after that, the 3rd inning to the 9th inning, they did nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Oh, nobody did anything.
Yeah.
Padres didn't do anything either.
Well,
it was just all over.
Yep.
All right. We're going to do Dodgers graffiti next. Dodgers graffiti, 877-710-ESPN. Why talk about anything else than this?
There's other things happening? What else is happening?
Aaron Rodgers denying that he got Saleh fired.
That's the stupidest thing I've
That
ever
is
heard in
so
my life.
No, he had no
It's
idea.
So dumb.
No, it was
You go to dinner with Woody Johnson the night before, and then the next morning he gets
I
fired.
don't know.
How does that happen?
Well, he resents what you're saying right now, Bergman.
I know he
who,
does.
Woody or
No,
Robert
Aaron
Saleh?
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I
dare
told
you.
Pat McAfee. He
How
resents this.
dare
Oh, yeah.
you.
Right. He has
Speak
no idea.
truth.
Although I will say this, apparently Woody Johnson, I didn't know this, was the ambassador to
Johnson
England.
Johnson?
Yes.
Oh, ambassador to England.
Yeah, he
In
was
the
the
Trump administration.
ambassador to England.
Yeah.
And he was upset because his team lost badly in England. And embarrassed him in front of his
You don't do that to the
constituents
ambassador.
or whatever. The ambassador, yeah. All right. Anyway, Dodgers coming up next. Mason, Ireland, 710 ES.
ESPN. 710 ESPN, the destination for LA sports this fall.
Here comes LeBron and slam dunk right in Paul George's face and a foul.
Lakers basketball.
Got it back. Another three. Good. What a night for Austin Reeves.
Rams football.
Cup of the six. Cup to the pylon. Touchdown, Cooper Cup. Touchdown, LA.
The USC Trojans.
Hands off the marks. Up the middle. Into the end zone. Touchdown. They're going wild in half of this stadium as the Trojans are going to pull off the upset. How do you do?
LAFC.
Oh, flip for LA Football Club. Did he?
The LA Kings. And Angels baseball.
The all-new ESPN LA app, your destination for LA sports.
Hey kids, Uncle Artie here from Perennial Law, here to tell you about a newer sponsorship deal with Matt Barnes, who has deep LA roots, former Bruin and pro basketball player for both LA teams.
If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Perennial Law. And there's never any upfront fees. They collect when you collect. And for the record, their win-loss record puts them in the top of the standings. That's 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Come to Carden Alleyway Hyundai and lease a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra SEL for only $201 a month plus tax for 36 months. Or get 1.99% APR for 60 months, your choice. Plus get peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Carden Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway or CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com.
Lease for $201 plus tax. License and fee to well-qualified buyers. 36-month lease, 10K miles per year, 3511 due at signing. 1.99% APR, $17.52 per $1,000 financed. Not all buyers will qualify. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 10/31/2024.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Sports graffiti time. I'm just in the middle of buying tickets for Game 5.
What is the game?
Get-in price is $168.
Whoa, they went down.
No, it's not terrible.
No, they went down. I saw them yesterday. They were like almost $300.
Although they're probably those seats that we had that one time where you can't even see the scoreboard.
Far left field.
Where they stick the press for the playoffs.
The auxiliary press
the
box.
auxiliary press
So
box.
my friend was listening, and she texted me. She goes, "Don't go tonight because we're winning tonight, so we're all going Friday."
By the way, good seats are super expensive.
Oh, yeah.
For Friday night.
Thousands.
Let's take some local listeners to a baseball game on Friday.
That's the way.
Wanna?
Yeah.
Wanna?
No.
All right, let's go. Lalo. Lalo, you're on Dodgers Graffiti. Go.
Hey, you guys know that, I think it was Travis talking about this earlier, about bad breaks.
Yep.
So, do you remember the Darvish game? Darvish pitched well, but God, his defense bailed him out. There was a bunch of hits that should
Absolutely.
have dropped, including that home run by Mookie Betts.
4 of them,
So
4 times.
We're just not catching breaks.
Yeah, the problem is that when you don't catch breaks in a series, I get it. When you don't catch breaks 3 years in a row, I have problems with it.
So game 1, the game that they won, they did catch breaks. Will Smith Manny Machado threw a ball over Ariza's head, and Will Smith got on base and moved over to second. He eventually came around to score.
Right.
That you got a break.
But
in
last
game
night,
1.
that inning was a bad break.
Those were all bad breaks by the Dodgers defense.
Yeah.
In game 2, there was no bad breaks. They got every play that went to Ariz, they got.
And that's by the way, that's got to make Friedman nuts because they went ahead and they loaded up on defense. The idea of Rojas at short. Rojas is a terrific fielder. Made a mistake last night. Tommy Edmonds, a really good fielder. And they're
He
using
didn't make any
him.
mistakes, I don't think.
Who's that?
Edmund?
I didn't say he made mistakes. I'm
okay.
just saying
he could have been short.
He's a really good fielder.
Yeah, he is a really good fielder.
So they placed a premium on defense, and it has not paid off. Let's go to Mike. Mike, you're on Dodgers Graffiti. Go, Mike.
Hey, guys. How you doing? This is America's honesty broker. This Dodgers series, first of all, I want to say the Padres now are the most hated. I cannot stand them, even worse than the Giants. But going into this series with Freeman injured, Miggy injured, our pitching staff totally decimated, and I agree with Greg. You can't fire Roberts for this year, but it may be time for a new voice. Also, do either one of you think that the Lakers will sign Walker Buehler?
The Lakers?
The Lakers will sign Walker Buehler?
I heard he got a great
It's a long
I
shot.
think they'll re-sign.
Yeah,
I think the
re-sign with-
Dodgers will re-sign Walker Buehler.
I actually do think the Dodgers are going to wind up re-signing Walker Buehler because he's got an injury history, and Andrew Friedman looks for that.
He was also really good last night.
He was. He was
Despite
great
that,
last night.
He did give up the home run to Tatis, and he gave up that just a little bleeder that got through the right side to Peralta
And
that
he's
turned
really,
in a couple runs.
He's really just a few starts away from coming back from his second Tommy John surgery. It doesn't bounce right
He's
back.
actually, for the most part, since coming back, he's been fine. Like, he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been awful either. He's been consistent with being fine.
He's getting ground balls. Like, that's what you want
And he's actually,
from him.
like, he's adjusting to what he can't do right now because I think he realizes I can't throw smoke right now.
Right.
Pitch after pitch.
Yep.
So he's adjusting. It's not ideal against a team like the Padres, but he's doing what he has to do.
Let's go to Soen. Is it Soen?
How's it spelled?
S-O-A-N?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. First time, long time. I really think we're being way too harsh on Dave Roberts here. Listen, I got a million reasons why I should be disappointed with Dave Roberts. This past season, I have found it hard to even find one. And then in the playoffs, he's been last night kind of solidified it for me. When he came out for a mound visit with 2 outs in the 5th, and he came up to Walker Buehler, they had a runner on first. That was a great timed visit. He let Walker get that last out. He started Merrill off with a strike, ended up throwing the wild pitch. Machado goes to second, whatever. That was a really bright idea. They pivoted. They walked him. I thought Buehler grinded it out.
Yeah, there's no question he grinded it out, and I did not think Dave should have stuck with Walker Buehler. He did, and it worked. But
if I could just say, Mason, listen. You said you were trying to buy tickets to Game 5 of the DS.
Yes,
I have tickets to the NLCS Game 6. I haven't given up hope.
There you go.
Awesome, man.
Like this guy.
So on.
That's what I'm talking about, Son.
That's where my head's at.
That's a winning attitude right there. See, Someone's got fire.
Maybe he can replace Dave Roberts next year.
Apparently, Dave has no fire whatsoever. And
well, wait a minute. What I don't understand from you, Bergman, is
I don't really
you
care.
think he should be fired if they lose.
Yes.
And yet you think he's done nothing wrong.
In
There's no
this
reason
series,
for it.
I would not fire him because of this year, what he's done in this postseason. But over the entire time, I would let him go because that's 3 years in a row that you lost in the NLDS to a division opponent.
What Greg is saying is that Dave Roberts is too far gone, but you don't need to criticize him for things this series that don't matter because he's too far gone anyway. Just criticize him for the stuff that he deserves.
Right. I mean, I'm very results driven. The results have not been good.
No, that's fine. It's true.
Until tonight.
But if in any other sport, I know I don't like comparing sports usually, but if Phil Jackson is one of the greatest coaches of all time in the NBA. If he was knocked out in the first round 3 years in a row, he'd be on his ass immediately.
Oh, 100%.
So, same thing with Dave Roberts.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. If this
Phil got knocked out 2 years in a row in the first round with the Lakers when they first came back, there was no talk of firing him.
Was it the first 2 years?
First 2 years?
First 2 years after he came back from the sabbatical year. Yeah.
It wasn't 3 years.
Well,
Dave
Oh
Roberts.
no! It's only 2. If Phil had gone a third straight year, that would have been
Dave didn't go. He didn't get fired after the second year.
Right.
I'm just saying there was
that
not
fits
even
my point better.
The point being there was no talk of that with Phil Jackson at all. They blew a 3-1
Well, he also had
lead.
10 championships.
Yeah.
Or 9 championships
I
at
get
the
it.
time.
All right, so I'm seeing a lot of. I think we're seeing regular Twitter guys on the phones. Now I'm gonna guess that this is Joel B. Is this Joel B?
Oh boy.
Is this Joel?
Yes. No, not your Twitter guy.
Oh, you're not Joel B. Okay, go ahead.
I think Walker Buehler pitched great. Double play away from pitching possibly 7 innings. That game could have gone completely different. You need to get Kike out there. He's Mr. October for the Dodgers. He's proven. Sit down. You got to sit down Freeman, save him for a pinch hit. He can't play. And we go out there, Pies in center, Tommy over at short, and we take M5, go to game 6 with Yamamoto.
All right, I like Joel's attitude. And by the way, what does your gut say about Freddie Freeman? Yay or nay tonight?
I think he's going to try and tough it out. I think
he's going to try to play.
Yeah, I can see it.
Rojas, I think we're not going to see him at short.
No, I think Edmonds there. And
Edmonds at short.
I would
put Kike in the lineup. I mean, Kike's had such great postseason success, and why else did you get him?
I mean, he can play every position, but I just don't feel like he's a center fielder. But who would you put at center? Mookie?
Yeah, because
you're changing a lot of stuff there. Edmund has to go,
or
you can keep Edmund in center and put Kike at short.
I was going to ask.
Yeah,
you can play Kike there.
Yeah, you can.
Certainly not an elite fielder, but
no, I mean he's a good fielder.
Yeah, I mean
they brought
he can
in
handle
Chris
it.
Taylor to field last night, which I didn't understand that. Why he never came up, so it was fine, and no ball went to him at third. But I didn't understand why they didn't go Kike there.
Yeah, I don't either. That's Kike time. Okay, I think this Hooper's X. You're on 710. What's up, man?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Not a lot of people are talking about this, but when Machado was running the base and trying to steal second, and Freddie Freeman threw the ball, Machado was in the infield grass.
Correct.
He should have been out at second.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing, Hooper's X, if that is your real name. Apparently, that is not a rule.
It is not a rule.
The base runner has free reign to run wherever he wants, and I don't understand for the life of me why everybody going to second doesn't try to get hit by the baseball the way Manny Machado did last night.
It was a smart play by
Manny
Machado.
It was a smart play.
It's the only way that it becomes out of the base path is if you're trying to tag him and he moves out of the base path to either side.
He also may have recognized that Freeman was throwing from his knees. He was doing that disadvantaged, and he could make that play. Machado make that play to interfere easier.
Well, if you watch it, he actually glances back to see where Freeman is.
Because normally, if Freeman is throwing that from his feet, he can throw around Machado, and I doubt that happens.
Incredibly smart play by Manny Machado.
Yep. Hate to say it, but it was smart.
It is.
All right, we'll do more Dodgers graffiti coming up next. I think Alana Rizzo is going to call in. I think she's coming on at 2.
Yes, sir.
2 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
So Dodgers, day after they lose in San Diego, they're down 2-1 tonight. is obviously a must-win. They got to win tonight and force the series back to Dodger Stadium on Friday. Let's all get tickets to Game 5. Let's go. Let's send the right message to the universe. Mason in Ireland. Andy's here. Bergman's here. 710 ESPN.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
If you were a problem in high school, weren't you?
We were
like
just
low
jocks.
grade problem, but if you were constantly having to serve a penalty.
We were
of some
jocks.
kind.
Is it John Bender from the Breakfast Club?
So you were a cross of Emilio Estevez and John Bender.
Yes, we were cutting through to get through so the principal wouldn't catch us.
It's Trav and D-Far.
Back tomorrow morning after Greeny on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cap. So you get this letter from the Department of Water and Power with two big bold words, high usage. And you don't really know what to do about it, but you kind of have an idea of who you can blame. So you go knock on your daughter's door and you go, hey, would you stop showering for 45 minutes twice a day? And then you go to your son and say, would you please stop washing your car 3 times a week? And then you continue with your life until you get another one of these beautiful letters that says high usage on it. This is where the Water Boy comes in. The Water Boy specializes in pressurized leak detection. All they do, day in and day out, is go to homes and find leaks. Their state-of-the-art equipment allows them to visually and acoustically inspect your pipes to find that stubborn leak that's constantly flowing. It can be anything from a failing toilet to a burst pipe in your slab. You don't even know it existed. They have ample amounts of experience from water damage restoration to general construction and plumbing that, when combined, allows them to master the art of leak detection. They do non-destructive leak detections, which means they're not going to open or damage the structure of your home. Their equipment is advanced enough to listen to the exposed surfaces and indicate where the leak is occurring. They are widely used by homeowners, property managers, and even realtors to inspect pressurized water systems to make sure they're intact and functioning with no leaks. Call Omer at the Waterboy Leak Detection today, 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Waterboy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Waterboy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids. It's almost time for the new season of the Lake Show. Grab your tickets this upcoming season through Lakers Ticket Exchange by Ticketmaster. Ticket Exchange is the official resale marketplace of your Los Angeles Lakers, where your purchase is 100% verified and secured. Purchasing tickets has never been so easy. Grab your computer or phone and find your seats at Lakers.com/ticket exchange. That's Lakers.com/ticket exchange. We'll see you this upcoming season.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams.
This is Mason and Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
Oh, no. Get the paddles. We got to resuscitate game 4.
I heard that all morning.
Oh, is
from
that
7
got
to 9.
this.
Brian put it on my page. Did you use that a lot?
No, I didn't use that. Morales
Morales?
used it the entire morning.
Oh, did he really?
All morning
Oh, then
long.
I'm
he
going to
used
bury that.
I
then.
think I need to do that to Greg because you look tired, man.
Yeah, Greg is
I'm a little worn
Greg's
out.
going to roam out of here.
After this segment,
Greg's like, we're
Not like throwing shade, but I'm like concerned for you.
yeah.
Okay, it's 7
Do you
o'clock
need
in
a
the morning.
Celsius?
The last 2 days.
Yep.
7 in the morning tomorrow with Andy Kamenetsky.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be fun, especially
That'd be
after a
good.
Dodger win.
After
Yes.
the Dodgers win.
Should I bring the champagne
For the
tomorrow?
rest of the show, let's put out the idea that they're going to lose out of our minds.
No
They're
more
not
talk-
going to lose.
No more talk about Dave Roberts being fired because they're going to win the series, and this is all going to go
I don't want to
away.
hear the L word again
Nope.
on the show.
talk
I don't
about
want to hear
Dave
the L
Roberts'
word
I
again.
love you guys.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go
Dave
that far.
Roberts. Yeah, let's extend
Hold.
them.
I mean,
Hold.
if I'm correct, he is coming up pretty soon to like a walk year.
I think next year's as well.
Yeah,
Next year.
let's lock this
next
thing
year
up
would
right
be his
now.
lame duck year.
Yeah.
He's 1 year away from his lame duck year.
Let's lock him up.
Yeah.
Hold off on the
Sign
extension,
him up.
Doc.
We'll hold. We'll hold. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that.
Like Ken in
We'll get back to
Newport.
it. Yeah, like Ken in Newport.
Put him on line 11.
Ken's on line 9 now. I don't know. He's jumping
He's still
lines.
he's still in 11.
Yeah. He's still on
boy.
11? Okay.
Yeah, he's
Just
still on
hold him. Hold him till after
Or is
game
it 15
4.
now? I
We'll
don't
win
know.
his take then. So the one thing I'll say about tonight, we touched on this, but the Dodgers have had success against Dylan Cease.
Sure has.
And if you look at it collectively, I think they beat him twice in a row. Is that right, Bergman?
Yeah, they beat him twice in a row. It was 2 weeks ago, like the second to last game of the San Diego series,
Right.
and on Saturday.
And individually, Freddie Freeman, 5 of 11. Now, I don't know. Hopefully we see him tonight. Kike, 5 for 12 with a homer. You've got to get him into the lineup tonight.
I assume he will be, but it just depends where
Isn't that weird?
it is.
Gavin Lux is 4 for 7.
Yeah.
Off Dylan Cease. And Shohei Ohtani, this is the big one. 5 for 17, 3 homers and 7 RBIs, and a 1251 OPS.
And they need him to wake up.
By the way, that Fernando Tatis, when the OPS could be like the year you were born.
It's over 2000 is what you're saying?
It's 1970 right now.
Oh,
That's his OPS, is 1970, and it's apparently the second best OPS in a playoff series, if he holds it up, in a playoff series, maybe ever.
Every time he gets a hit, it's either a double or a home run. The guy is just
massively
on fire.
I don't know. It's sort of like Shohei. I don't know why you pitched to him. At this point, why do you even pitch to him?
They got him out. After the home run that he had in the second inning, they got him out every other time. And they got him out the first time, too. So it was just that one hit that he had in the second inning.
Didn't he give another one a ride?
No. He gave I think it was just the home run in game 3.
I mean, what I think is interesting, though, with Tatis is, we were talking about
confused.
the Padres' personalities and the fire and the bleep talking and all
Yeah.
that. But a guy like Tatis, he's got a motivation that's unfakeable in the sense that he owes his team. Like, he owes them.
Because of the time he missed and all
right.
that?
And they were mad about it. Like, they were openly upset with him.
He's hit a ball out of Dodger Stadium before, which is very, very rare thing to do.
Yeah.
He was 1 for 4 last night.
1 for 4.
1 for 4 last night, yep.
But
God,
that
he
one-
ripped that baseball. Oh, my
Jeez, it
God.
was so
That
hard.
home run was just
I think I remember talking
destroyed.
about he did have a big hit, but it was caught at the wall.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
what I thought.
yeah,
I think he
it was
did.
caught at the wall.
He did hit. He gave one a ride. I do remember that.
Yeah.
So I think the Dylan Cease aspect of it is reason for optimism. I also think, look, when you don't have starting pitching and you've got a good bullpen, a bullpen game is okay. It scares the living hell out of everybody, but a bullpen game can work. The problem is when you start stringing along relievers, one guy has an off night and you're effed.
Yeah, it can all get screwed over. As long as Ryan Brazier has a good first inning, and then you get some length out of Landon Knack.
By the way, do you know that for sure it's going to be Ryan Brazier or not?
Whenever they've gone this year, from what I can think of right now, they always go Ryan Brazier first. It's in his last outing of the season, it was the Sunday, the last game against Colorado. It was Ryan Brazier into Landon Knack. That's why I assume is going to happen. Although Brazier gave up a couple hits. On Sunday. So I don't know if they go that way, but that's where they've usually
gone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to be optimistic. We'll get some of your calls in here. Bergman, thank you very much. You did a great job all day today, and I'm sure you're going to be on. You're like Ken from Newport Beach.
I just sit on line 11 all day. You need
soon.
me, I'm on line 11.
Emergency break glass. There's Bergman. That's the way it works around here. Thanks, Bergman.
All right, thank you.
All right. Andy and me going to hang out the rest of the afternoon. Alana Rizzo is going to join us coming up at 2 o'clock, and more. Your calls 877-710-ESPN. All right. The November 5th general election is coming up right around the corner. And older adults are the most powerful voters in the country. AARP has got a long history of helping voters get the information they need without all the partisan spin. Here's what you got to know. All registered voters will receive a vote-by-mail ballot starting October 7th, so you should be getting that by now. The deadline to register to vote is October the 21st. And on Election Day, November 5th, polling places are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., and vote-by-mail ballots have got to be postmarked by November 5th and received by November 12th. Also, changes this year. State referenda will now ask keep the law or overturn the law instead of yes or no, and all polling places must offer curbside voting. Visit aarp.org/CA votes or text 22777 with the phrase CA. For more information and resources, AARP, empowering you to vote for the future you want. Mason, Ireland, 710.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Friend Jacob in the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Hey, John Ireland here. If you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. Everyone has different reasons for selling. Some people want to downsize and move. Some have inherited a property they want to get rid of, or maybe it's just time for a change. Whatever your reason for selling, Seller's Advantage has a custom solution for your needs. They'll make a competitive cash offer with no repairs needed, as they can close in days, no complicated closing process or contracts falling through. Seller's Advantage has been making sellers happy for decades, and they have the reviews to prove it. Call them today and get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747, or go to sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Landon Dakota Knack. It's actually a really good game, isn't it? Good name. Landon Dakota Knack. That sounds like a playoff hero to me.
Sounds like a playoff hero. Sounds like an action hero.
Yeah.
Sounds like my savior.
He's the guy tonight.
Postseason debut.
And by the way, you never know who somebody is until they actually
show you who they are.
Exactly. And tonight we're going to find out Landon Dakota Knack.
Who was the reliever? I'm blanking on his name. The reliever for the Angels. The one when they won the World Series. Remember, he got
Frankie Rodriguez.
Yes. Nobody knew who that guy was.
Correct.
Like the entire world was introduced to him, and he was nails.
He was on the money.
He was incredible.
Yep. So you don't know. Tonight we're going to get a bullpen game. We know that Landon Dakota Knack is going to have a big role in this game tonight. If Bergman's right, they start with a reliever like Ryan Brazier, and then Knack. Maybe you get 3. If you're lucky, you get 4. You think 4? 5 is a stretch.
Let's go 5.
You're holding 5 fingers.
Let's go 5.
5 is a stretch.
All right, Andrew.
Landon Dakota Knack is a 5-inning guy.
Landon Dakota Knack.
Landon Nikolnak might give you 5.
We will absolutely be talking about Landon Dakota Knack tomorrow on this show.
Yes, we will.
He's the man. A couple of notes I wanted to get in. If you are and we'll get some of your calls in too. If you're a Raiders fan, it is official. They have named Aiden O'Connell their starting quarterback. Gardner Minshew's going to the bench. LeBron James is irked that the Lakers have to fly to Milwaukee for one preseason game. He tweeted this: "Can someone please explain to me why we're getting on a plane and heading to Milwaukee for one preseason game?" That's where Ireland is, by the way, today. He's on the plane to Milwaukee, so he's not happy about that. And the Los Angeles Kings open tomorrow night. We'll have the game. I think that's on our ESPN LA app, and it is their first game. It's at Buffalo.
Go, Kings, go!
Well, the answer, by the way, to LeBron's question
Yes.
is it's because crypto is still going under renovations now that the Clippers are going to be out of there. So they're, I think, expanding locker rooms. In the end, I think...
Yeah, but go to Ontario. Go to, all those other arenas you can go to without flying to Milwaukee.
I'm not saying Milwaukee was justified. I'm just saying this is why, say, Milwaukee can't come to them.
Yes.
It's because they don't have a place to play right now as far as inside crypto. But in the end, I think LeBron's going to be happy with the result. He's going to be happy with the new space in there.
I think the new space is going to be cool. By the way, I mentioned this yesterday, but they are turning the LA Live into crypto. I'm terrible at describing this. It's going to be one level surface between LA Live and crypto, and they're going to close off Chick Hearn.
Oh, no.
No, that's good.
Well, the sentiment in me hates the idea of closing down Chick Hearn.
But everybody will be walking across Chick Hearn all the time.
So there'll still be signage.
There'll still be signage. It'll just be one
then
walk
all good.
across the
all
street.
Good.
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's...
I thought we were losing the Chick Hearn street.
No.
Okay.
It's just becoming more of a outdoor kind of space
I like
thing.
that.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Khalid in
He's from Oakland, sorry.
Khalid in Oakland.
Everybody,
what's up, Khalid?
Hey, guys. What's up, guys? I'm from Oakland, long time. Listen, love you guys, okay?
Thanks, man.
I'll get straight to the point. I feel bad for you guys, and I understand you guys' issue. You know, you guys really don't know if it's really the pitching or it's the manager. But let me say this.
Yeah.
It's the players' jobs during the season to get them there. It's the manager's job to manage them through that playoffs. That's what they're there for, to manage them to win the big games. That's what the coach is there for. That's what the managers are there for, to win the big games. And Roberts just can't do it, y'all.
Yeah.
And we gave him many times. Not y'all, not we. Because I'm a diehard Oakland. Y'all gave him many chances. And he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a good guy. But you guys got to make a change.
Yes.
His job is there to win the big games, guys, and he just doesn't do it.
Thank you, Khalid. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, historically, the last decade, 2014 they lost in the DS. 2015 they lost in the DS. Then 2017 they went to the World Series and got rooked. 2019 lost in the DS. 2022 lost in the DS. 2023 lost in the DS. You can't invest as much in a team as the Dodgers do and not find postseason success. And, you know, Dave is a nice guy.
Sure.
By the way, Dave, the last time he was on with us, said, I've been a Mason and Ireland guy my whole life. And now...
Way to repay him, Mace.
Wowza.
Friends like you.
Who needs friends? Who
that
needs
Brian,
enemies,
he did
man?
say that, right?
He did, yeah. When he was like at UCLA and everything.
Yeah, he was at UCLA. He was at San Diego.
The guy grew up with your voice in his ear, and this is how you repay him.
By the way, somebody called earlier and said, you got to get rid of him. Go back to your house. Yeah, banish him to La Jolla. That's a prison sentence down there, isn't it? La Jolla. Oh, no.
Such a rough, tough
time. That is rough.
Yeah.
Rough time.
I would love for somebody to banish me to La Jolla.
La Jolla, exactly. Let's go to Mike.
I'll
Mike,
take it.
You're on Dodgers Graffiti. Go.
You know, I think you guys are really putting the blame on the wrong person. I really blame Andrew Friedman. They've had 3 years in a row that they've been decimated with injuries to their pitching staff before this year and got bumped out of the playoffs against the Braves, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks. So this year he goes out and gets Glasnow, who's never pitched more than 140 innings. He signed Yamamoto, who's never pitched in the major leagues. And he just assumes Bobby Miller and Stone are going to be all-stars, and Kershaw and Buehler are going to come back and be at their all-star form. He could have gone out and got Cease. He could have gone in Burns. He could have got more reliable starting pitching. They could have traded for Tanner Scott at the deadline, but they didn't want to give up these vaunted prospects, half of which have arm injuries now. We haven't developed any all-star caliber position player except for Will Smith, who's in a funk right now, under Andrew Friedman. All those guys like Seager and Bellinger were drafted by his predecessor. Muncy was an exception that they got kind of because of Farhad Zahari's time in Oakland. Where are the position players that we're developing in the minor leagues? They're always become busts, but we won't trade the prospects. They gave Bush up for basically nothing when they could have traded him for more prospects that were closer to the major leagues and guys in single A. The Dodgers never go all in because Andrew Friedman won't part with them, just like he wouldn't get Verlander in 2017. We lost the World Series.
Do you think the Dodgers...
Rack 'em.
It's a great call, Mike. Stay where you are. I'm not going to hang up on you because it's good stuff. In the case of the pitching, I mean, I've joked about it, but it is true. Andrew Friedman does look for what I would call distressed assets. Mm-hmm. And distressed assets are
distressed
pitchers,
for a reason.
Pitchers coming off injury, guy. And by the way, it's worked sometime. A couple of years back, Brandon Morrow was a broken down guy who they turned into an ace reliever at some point because they were able to work. That's why I think they'll keep Buehler, because I think the bones are there to build to rebuild a good career for him. And I think that's the kind of guy Friedman. But in the case of Glasnow, it was a question mark. It was head scratcher.
He's seen as out of character for a lot of
He didn't even
what
just trade for him. He signed him a big deal.
This gets to, though, what I was saying before about the idea of firing Roberts. It's not what I would do, but if you want to do it, fine. But if you just leave it at firing Roberts and you don't take a hard examination of some of the moves that have been made over the last 3 or 4 years, then you're basically just doing theater for the fans. And you're just looking like you're doing something when you're not actually addressing, I think, some of the larger issues with this team. Like, you have to be questioning some of the decisions that are being made and why this team, forget just underperforming in the playoffs, they often don't seem whole in the playoffs. Like, that certainly is not a Dave Roberts thing.
Hey, Mike, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, do you put no blame on Dave Roberts?
I think in the past he's made some questionable decisions, leaving pitchers in, taking some out, maybe too loyal. But I think most of those decisions are made by Freeman and the analytical guys, and they're going down to Dave with a game plan, and he's just executing it. I think managing these egos, managing the injuries last year to win 100 games, this year again with all the injuries, I think he's done a great job. Baseball comes down to, pitching and defense in the playoffs, and we've not given him the arms. I mean, the fact that we're going with a bullpen game with all the ability last year to sign free agents after really having 3 years of no pitching in the playoffs. And I also think this, Bergman's wrong. Phil Jackson won a world championship his first 3 years with the Lakers. And the fact that you guys are, and I'm a huge Kobe fan, the fact that you guys adore Kobe so much but ran Bauer out of town for basically the same accusations. We should have kept Bauer. We should have given him a second chance, and we'd have more pitching now. But I love the show. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you, Mike. It's a good call. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably all fair. All fair. Andrew Friedman did load up the pitching. You can't anticipate the injuries. Like Gavin Stone was especially brutal. The fact that Kershaw is not available. The fact that
you can anticipate Kershaw not being available.
But he wasn't coming back till July. You can always get 20 starts out of Kershaw, at least historically. So coming back in July, and he had a rough start, then a good start, then a rough start, then a good start.
But here's the thing, though. If you want to look at Kershaw as an individual case, fine.
Yeah.
But if you look collectively across the roster, there were a lot of pitchers with health questions, all on the same roster in the same season. And some of those guys were brought in this year. Like two of the biggest names, Glasnow and Yamamoto.
Right. These were Friedman's choices.
Right.
Friedman chose Yamamoto. Friedman chose Glasnow. Those decisions don't look good.
And you
now.
also wonder, too, like if some of those decisions were, okay, you have Ohtani. Now we got to go all in. And all in means the biggest names, as opposed, like the splashiest moves. We are going to show we are going all in, as opposed to who might make the most sense. Like who makes the most sense with this roster and some of the other injury questions that we have.
Yeah, you know what we just need is we needed somebody to give us innings. Just give us innings.
Well, that's going to be Mr. Knack.
Landon Dakota Knack.
Landon Dakota Knack.
Landon Dakota Knack.
Remember the name.
Yep. All right. We're going to do What's Up, Fool?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll do some What's Up, Fool.
You have, like, the lines that going crazy.
They are. They're crazy.
Yeah.
The lines are crazy. Dodger fans are very emotional today.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
I need Dodger fans to be emotional, not dumb.
We should call my shrink.
What?
Talk me through this.
I think you're fine.
I don't think he would do that.
No, they can't.
Is that a HIPAA violation? Is he allowed to do this?
No, not if I'm the one that brings him on to talk about my emotional state. I think that would be
So you're
my
allowed
option.
to do the session for everyone as long as you initiate
do a session.
Really? My therapist, before when I had one, she was not okay with me bringing extra people, being open about that.
Bringing extra people to your session?
Like, sometimes people bring somebody to their session.
I don't know anybody that's brought somebody to it. Who do you bring? Like a friend?
You could bring, like, for example, if I have an issue with my sister and I kind of want to talk it out, you ask permission.
Oh,
My
so it's
therapist-
like counseling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, but you wouldn't just bring, for example, Brian just
No.
for fun.
Yeah.
No,
like
no.
the therapy session.
What are you doing this afternoon?
You're
I'm
therapy.
going to see my shrink. You want to join me?
Imagine the first date you do that.
Here's the this is
That's a tough
part
first
of
date.
what makes me tick is that I cannot deal with my teams losing. This last week has been brutal.
It's been tough to be a Dodger, a Rams fan.
Dodgers, Rams,
I'm a
Trojans
UCLA
lost on
fan.
Saturday. I mean,
They lose, but they lose close. UCLA.
And Juan's
It's been
just like,
rough.
what can I do to make this guy get through? I mean, he's like, I'm inconsolable after losses.
And he's a Broncos fan.
Yeah, he is. And he's sort of following them a little more because they're a little better at the moment. All right, we'll get some of your calls in here. We'll do some What's Up, Fool. Alana Rizzo is going to join us at 2. All that's coming up for you. It is a critical day for the Dodgers tonight at Petco Park. Landon Dakota Knack versus Dylan, I don't know what his name is, Cease.
Who cares?
Yeah, we don't care
We
his
don't care.
middle name. All right, Mason and Ireland, 7:10.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, You're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
And lifted me over his head like I was his 5-year-old son.
Leverage, come on, it was fun.
DeMarco, that was a very. I said it to you. I said, now I know. I know what you're about. I know what you're capable of.
You were surprisingly lighter than I thought.
No one had picked me up like that since I was 8.
Really?
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Hi, it's producer Laura here, and I'm joined by Dr. Shapiro from Ultimate, who's going to tell us a little bit about your vote and how that correlates with your health. Dr. Shapiro, can you explain why, as a doctor, you can only influence about 20% of your health? Why is that important to voters?
Well, that 20% is all the medications and things that we can do in hospitals and clinics. But the real magic happens on the 80% of the things that we have outside of the clinic. That's the air that we breathe, the parks that we have, the schools. And that's why it's so important to be represented.
And how does voting really change that?
At the moment that we vote, and especially on the local level, we can actually see how the parks, our schools, and our environment changes with our voice. That's why we need to be there.
Dr. Shapiro, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go out and vote. Make your vote count. If you want any additional information, go to myvotemyhealth.org.
Hey, it's Travis.
And DeMarco.
Hey, accidents can be shocking, devastating, and difficult to deal with, which is why you should never deal with them alone and have family on your side.
Joseph S. Normand and his trusted team are family, and they're here to help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
You know, when my son was in an accident, we called Joseph at 213-747-2000, and he was able to help.
You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand.
This October, Valvoline Instant Oil Change invites you to drive through with a purpose and support the American Cancer Society Road to Recovery program. From October 18th to the 20th, join us for the Drive Through with a Purpose donation weekend. Visit participating locations and make a donation to help provide free rides to treatment for cancer patients. The best part? Your donation will save you up to 35% on your oil change. Visit ValvolineFightsCancer.com for details. Let's come together and support the fight against cancer.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
All right, thank you, Brian. So, kick it off today. I don't know if you guys saw at about 2:30 this morning, the Tropicana officially demolished in Las Vegas.
Did they fly something over the top?
There was a bunch of drones there. Even did a fireworks show for it.
It looked really cool.
Pretty cool video. When you know something is like a set to be demolished like that, pretty cool, interesting video, you know.
Yeah.
The fireworks also put me off, but at 2:30 in the morning is the time that they decided to do this.
Why would you do that a little earlier?
That was
prime
my
time,
that
like
was
when
my
the fountains go off.
Right. My
It's a
question
strip,
is,
man. Ain't nobody sleeping.
That's true. Everybody's awake there anyway. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Did anybody ever stay at the Tropicana?
I never have.
I have.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not been like the cool place in a really long time.
No.
It was cheap, though.
No, not since like the Rat Pack where it was in Vegas.
Oh,
was it
yeah.
cool.
I was just watching a Rat Pack documentary last night. It's called, I don't know. I can't remember, but it's really, really good because it follows each of them through their development. Like, it covers Martin and Lewis together.
Okay.
It covers Sinatra and falling out of favor, then getting from here to eternity,
the
all that
podcast
stuff.
series, you must remember this.
Yeah.
They did a good Rat Pack series, too. Well worth listening to.
No, those guys were fascinating. All right, what's next?
What's up, Foo? All right, guys. So, yes, the Jets fired their head coach, Robert Salas, and I read an article about 7 other potential coaches that could be fired. Do you guys want to take a guess or give me names to see who you guys would think would also
one
be on
has
the team?
got to be Doug Peterson.
Yes, that is the first one on the list.
One has got to be. It's not the Giants anymore.
Let me I'm trying to pull up a list of the teams. I just need the teams in front of me.
The Philly guy, Sirianni.
Yeah, let's see. So my internet's being wonky. The Giants one. Did you say Giants, by the way?
I said the Giants. Probably not because they're
He
playing
is.
a little better. Is he?
Brian is in that list. Yes.
I would say Browns.
Yes,
Kevin
the Browns.
Stefanski.
Yep.
Would Antonio Pierce be on the list?
Antonio Pierce is on that
Is
list.
on the
yeah.
list. And then is Sirianni on the list?
Let me check. Panthers is on the list. But no, he's not.
Interesting. I was going to say.
Because they're kind of a mess right now.
Zach Taylor from the Bengals.
Now, here's the thing about Zach. I would love to get Zach Taylor back.
Okay.
Zach Taylor's really good.
Do you think he wants to make the reverse direction, though?
I don't know.
What about Stefanski?
Yeah,
I think he did say that. I think you guys got them all.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Giants, the Cardinals. I think you guys actually missed that one.
Yeah, we did.
And
Really?
but
They just brought in Gannon.
Yeah.
I know. These are the 7 coaches that could. Obviously, they're not, but there could be based on the records. And, I mean, the Panthers, I get it. The Jaguars, I get it.
The only sure thing is Peterson, Jaguars.
He's
toast. He's toast.
I think he's gone. But
what's up, Foo?
All right, so the Netflix starting 5, the NBA
Yeah, I've
documentary.
not had a chance to watch it yet. Have you?
Not yet. It just came out this morning, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is
at
it
the
okay?
wee hours of this morning. Yeah.
Momo went to the premiere of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
So there, came out this morning, so there's a lot of quotes being aggregated from, Anthony Edwards, I think, has a few about Jason Tatum locking him up, kind of a thing like that. But there's a few from LeBron talking about Darvin Ham and the Lakers in general, about last year being put on minutes restrictions.
Oh, right.
And
he's not a big fan of that.
Not a big fan of that, and pretty much saying he's in better shape than everybody pretty much in the league, more or less, kind of saying.
Yep.
What do you think about this year? Is LeBron still going to have this minute restriction just because of the age, or is it the fact that he is saying, I don't need it, why am I doing this, this is stupid?
Well, we talked directly to J.J. Redick about it two weeks ago, I think, and he said, yeah, the minutes restriction is not going to exist with LeBron. That's LeBron's going to play exactly how much LeBron wants to play. And I think the minutes restriction lasted 1 game last year.
If that.
Yeah, I mean, Darvin blew that up almost immediately.
Look, the best way for the Lakers to reduce LeBron's minutes is beat the teams that you should beat badly.
Yes.
And let LeBron sit a lot in the fourth quarters. That's the most organic way that you can get the guy rest. Because the West is going to be too difficult for load management or missing games for no particular reason, like DNP old.
Right.
You're going to end up in the play-in at best, if not missing it. Just beat the teams you should and let LeBron have easy fourth quarters.
I think that's fair. I'm interested to see who the 9 guys are. The 5 are obvious. The next 4 are less so. I think Dalton Connect is one.
Well, it depends. Once they're at full strength. I mean, the obvious
Dalton
ones,
Connect looked really good so far.
I think Dalton Connect has looked good. When they're full strength, you're going to have Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, he's going to be in it.
You're going to have Jared Vanderbilt. You're going to have Max Christie, a backup center, who for the time being is Jackson Hayes, but maybe it could be Christian Wood. And then it depends, is 9 set in stone, which Redick already said not necessarily.
Yeah, he said 9, but...
Which, 9.5, could Dalton Connect play 10 minutes? And if he plays 10 minutes, is that considered a full part of the rotation or half? But I think he'll get a shot.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a shot.
I think he's going to get a shot. I think Connect can be part of the 9.
Here's what we learned, actually, in that first half against Phoenix, where they played LeBron and AD. you learned who's not in the rotation. Like right now, Jalen Hood-Schifino,
Definitely not
in the rotation.
No.
Cam Reddish,
Nope.
not in the rotation because they didn't play in the first half at all.
Right. Yeah, and they played the first half like real. I don't know if you know this or not, but my mom was a LeBron fan from way back.
He followed her here.
She used to watch him in Ohio do the. They carried all of his high school games back in the day, and so I contacted the people that run Acrisure Arena. Tim Lywicki is a friend of ours from years back. They sat in floor seats for that game on Sunday and saw LeBron and Bronny together on the floor for the first time.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
That's
My mom
really
was
cool.
so excited about that.
What's up, Foo?
Sorry, guys. I just found out some news.
Okay.
Pepe's here. Let me refocus. All right, so USC sophomore Juju Watkins, according to Sham, has agreed to a multi-year contract extension with Nike that will give her one of the richest shoe endorsement deals in women's basketball. My thing, I love Juju. I'm not a USC fan. Everybody knows this. I'm a Bruins girl, but I love seeing her ball.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys as stoked for this upcoming season of USC women's basketball?
She's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah,
She's
she'll be
so
great.
fun to watch.
And we're going to be carrying the games.
Correct. We are USC.
Yeah.
This is the home of USC sports,
Women's
USC athletics.
And men's
Right.
basketball.
Yeah, this is actually one of the cool things about our station now is that we are now partners with the Lakers, the Rams, LAFC,
Yep.
USC Athletics, the Los Angeles Kings.
Yep.
All. And so
We cover 90%+ of the sports.
all
in
of
LA.
their games will either be on the radio or on the app. And
Yep.
by the way, if you do not have the app, it is completely functional. The audio is crystal clear. It's an amazing app, and it's so easy to use. And if you're a Kings fan or you want to listen to a USC women's basketball game, if it's not on the radio, it'll be on the app.
You can just go to the app, and honestly, the app sounds a little bit clearer to
By the
me
way,
anyways.
Juan tells me that he only listens on the app, that he likes the sound of it
Yeah.
better than he likes
It is.
the radio.
This-
I still have a nostalgic
radio,
feeling
yeah.
about the radio. I've been listening to AM radio my whole life.
This weekend, I don't know if we're carrying this on the station or not, but this weekend I'm going to go see USC women's volleyball.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't
It's
think
some-
we're carrying that.
But that, by the way, too, I've been to a few games at the Galen Center. That's really, really fun. My daughter's super into volleyball, so we've gone on some team excursions. It's a lot of fun. Tickets really cheap.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to the USC Penn State game on Saturday. Oh, that's such an exciting game. It's
What's up,
absolute
Foo?
must win.
All right, I'm going to take the next one.
All right.
This is a question for predominantly Mace.
Okay.
Andy, not to diss you, but you know. Have you been invited to Brian's wedding? Because I was just informed that Pepe is going. And I'm like, how did Pepe get an invite and we don't when we work with Brian day in and day out?
What?
Exactly.
Pepe got invited to your wedding?
Please
Brian?
let us know,
Of course,
Brian.
come on, now it's Pepe.
You invited Pepe
But
to
not
your
us?
wedding, but not us?
I think this was between Allison and Liz. That's what happened here.
Uh-huh.
So Allison made your fiance
Right.
made a connection with Pepe's gal.
Right. They hit it off.
And they hit it off, and now, so he found a way into your wedding, and we can't get into it, right? It's a closed party.
Here's
More
what you
or
need
less.
to, here's honestly the way this
More
went
or
down.
less, as in more.
Here's the way this really went down. Liz got invited, and Pepe is her plus one.
That is true.
Oh, there we go.
I'm
Pepe's just
also
a plus one.
I'm also being called a chismosa, which is a gossip girl. I don't know if that translates that well, but whatever. And I'm like, duh, Pepe. Anything you say on these studios, we throw on air. You already know.
Yeah.
You already know.
When is
No
the
se haga.
wedding, Brian?
End of December.
End of December.
End of December.
I already know the date.
Still trying to get down
wait.
the list.
I cannot wait
Of course.
to
Pepe,
be there.
you know what? When he
course,
invites
you will
us, if it was any other day.
If it was any other day, exactly. All right, coming up next for you, Alana Rizzo is going to join us. We'll get more of your calls in here. Pepe Mantilla is here. All that stuff as we get ready for Game 4 tonight at Petco Park. Landon Dakota Knack is the star of the game tonight. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN, the destination for LA sports this fall.
Here comes LeBron into end. Slam dunk right in Paul George's face and a foul.
Lakers basketball.
Got it back. Another three. Good. What a night for Austin Reeves.
Rams football.
Cup of the six. Cup to the pylon.
Touchdown, Cooper Kupp! Touchdown, LA!
The USC Trojans.
Hands off the marks, up the middle, into the end zone! Touchdown! They're going wild in half of this stadium as the Trojans are going to pull off the upset. How do you do?
LAFC.
Oh, flip for LA Football Club. Did he?
The LA Kings and Angels Baseball.
The all-new ESPN LA app, your destination for LA sports.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL. realfathersrights.com/710 or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights. The Father's Rights Attorneys.
Come to Carden Alleyway Hyundai and lease a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra SEL for only $201 a month plus tax for 36 months. Or get 1.99% APR for 60 months, your choice. Plus, get peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Carden Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway or CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com.
Lease for $201 plus tax. License and fee to well-qualified buyers. 36-month lease, 10K miles per year, 3511 due at signing. 1.99% APR, $17.52 per $1,000 financed. Not all buyers will qualify. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 10/31/2024.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
All right, so Dodgers Game 4 tonight down at Petco Park. It is obviously a must-win elimination game. Landon Dakota Knack will pitch a chunk of that game, a bullpen game tonight. And joining us right now, you know her from her days with the Dodgers. She's on MLB Network. She's got the Foul Territory podcast. She's everywhere. Alana Rizzo is with us. Hi, Alana.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
We are... how are we? That's a good question, Alana. We're all kind of struggling with where we are right now in this series.
Yes.
So let's start with last night. If Miguel Rojas flips the ball to Gavin Lux for a double play, I think they probably win last night. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there was a better chance than not flipping him the ball to get the double play, obviously. But I think it stems from a lot more than just that. I think it stems from having, back-to-back innings with no production from the bottom of the order. I think it stems from not having anybody decide that it was a good idea to question Manny running out of the base path and back in, even if it was legal. Let's question it. Let's talk about it. Let's get mad about it. Let's find out.
Thank you, Alana. This is what I've been saying all day. Everybody's making fun of me. That was a moment that merited at least conversation.
That's a teaching moment, and nobody knows the rule book upside down and backwards, inside and out better than Bob Guerin, who was in the dugout.
Right.
And again, maybe it was well within the rules of the confines of what you're allowed to do in that situation, but it looked odd enough. If two people think it's weird, then it's worth a conversation.
Okay,
and I just didn't understand what the heck was happening, and it wasn't even like they didn't even ask for a review or a challenge or a clarification or anything. And that to me that was a pivotal point in the game for me.
Okay, so then, Alana, are you saying that you think even though this was within the rules and there were no rules broken, that there is a chance that if the Dodgers had questioned it, maybe it ends up going in their favor anyway, just out of confusion or something like that?
I think it's more of like, let's get mad about something, let's at least champion for ourselves. Did anybody think that was okay to run all over? I mean, you have Major League Baseball players that are in the Hall of Fame, a la Chipper Jones, questioning the legality and whether or not that was within the rule book.
Right. By the way, after the game,
both
I have a
question.
After the game, both Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez questioned it on the post-game show, and they spent a lot of time in that part of the baseball field during their careers. I mean, they understand. Derek Jeter said afterwards, "I've never seen that not get called interference."
And that's the point. Maybe it was within the rules, and that's fine if it is. I'm not saying if Manny Machado did what he was allowed to do, more power to him. Good for him for causing the havoc. But to even question, if two people and people in Major League Baseball that have way more experience than I do, some of which are in the Hall of Fame, are questioning it, somebody in the dugout should have stepped up and at least took a minute to question the decision and to question whether that was even allowed.
Right. And I think at that point, whether it's allowed or not, you've given your team kind of first of all, you've given Walker Buehler a little bit of blow after that conversation. You've also, I think, taken maybe some of the steam out of the rally by having that conversation.
There hadn't been a rally at that point, though. I think this is what makes it weird, I think, and Alana, like, difficult to analyze. There was so much in that inning that was kind of bizarre that, like the Miguel Rojas double play that didn't happen, that was fairly routine, like a weird decision on his part. Like, I think right now we're kind of looking at that sequence with Freeman and Machado through the prism of everything that happened afterwards, as opposed to what actually happened in the moment.
Maybe. And, hindsight's 20/20, of course. And I think as Dodger fans, and I still believe that I am one, obviously, and I love this team and I love that city and I miss it. I just think that, you know what? We're probably like looking at every little thing that could have gone our way and that it hasn't. But I think that was a pivotal moment in the game. And I guess it's the bigger broad stroke brush for me of I just don't see the fire that I need to see. Walker Buehler pitched really well. He gave you what he needed to give you and kept his team in the game. There's absolutely no offense backing him up. The defense was crap behind him last night. And I just need to see some fire. And I love Dave Roberts. I'm not asking for Dave Roberts' head. I don't think there needs to be a managerial change. I don't think they need a new voice. I keep, hearing that and reading that, and I understand where people are coming from. But what I didn't like was the tone of the interview in game, which is a whole other conversation, when Dave was talking to Ken Rosenthal, and it almost was as if he had conceded Game 3 and was looking ahead to today. And I'm like, wait a minute, we still have an opportunity. You guys still have an opportunity to win this game. Let's not wave that white flag just yet. I mean, this was before, obviously, Teoscar hit the grand slam.
Right.
But it just was odd to me that, I mean, the mojo and the momentum and the fire and the passion is palpable on the San Diego side. And I understand, they're on a different side of the equation with a lot of different results over the course of the last several years. But now it's starting to be that they don't think that they're the little brother role anymore.
Right.
They're going punch for punch, pound for pound with who is supposed to be the big brother in the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
And again, you need production from the bottom of the order. You need your guys to go deep into the ball game. I mean, okay, so we got Dylan Cease on short rest going up against the bullpen game in an elimination game.
Yep. So let me ask you this, Alana. How much of this, given the fact that they've, gone through a lot of starting pitching and, they gave Tyler Glasnow a big contract after they traded for him, and they gave Yamamoto, I won't say sight unseen, but hasn't pitched in the big leagues, and they give him $300 million. How much of this falls, and now we have no starting pitching, how much of this falls on Friedman?
The Yamamoto thing I question, just because it's $325 million for a guy that I understand is not a rookie. And maybe he has an amazing, sophomore season in Major League Baseball here in the United States. But from what I've seen so far, I've not been impressed. I mean, obviously, I need the Yamamoto that pitched in New York at Yankee Stadium, not the Yamamoto that pitched in Korea, and not the Yamamoto that pitched in Game 1. So let's say we get past the Padres in Game 4. Are you starting Yamamoto in Game 5 after what you saw in Game 1? That they don't have a choice. I mean, again, a lot of it is we have to remember this team has been absolutely crushed by injury.
Yeah.
I know nobody's going to give the Dodgers a pass, but that certainly doesn't fall on Dave. I mean, he's not the one, he's not in charge of their health. I don't often question Andrew Friedman because I think he's done a lot of really good things. And again, when they're playing poorly, everything is magnified. I haven't seen what I need to see so far from Yamamoto. That would be my only question mark right now. But I think Jack Flaherty was a good pickup.
Yeah.
Again, Jack Flaherty was the only one to go into the fourth inning in the postseason as a starter since Tyler Anderson did it in 2022. That's a freaking problem. We need our starters to go deep into the games because I tell you what, if we keep utilizing the bullpen, which is a strength, if they get past this series, the bullpen's going to get worn out.
Yes. Now, are they going to get past this series, Alana?
I think if it goes back to L.A., yes. I don't think that they lose Game 5 at home.
I agree on that.
I am worried about tonight.
Okay, speaking of tonight, Alana, you were talking about that fire and what you aren't seeing. You also mentioned, though, that you're not calling for Dave Roberts' head, anything like that. Do you think that fire needs to come specifically from Dave Roberts, or do you think it needs to come from more of the players inside the clubhouse, like them generating it themselves? Where do you think it's absent from?
I think it's a combination of things. I think when it's a situation where it's a rule of the game, that has to come from the manager, right? That has to come from your bench coach. That has to come from somebody that's like championing for his players. If it's lackadaisical play, if it's, guys, and I'm not saying this is happening, I'm just showing examples. If you're showing up to the field late, I mean, there's got to be veteran leadership in the clubhouse that comes from the players. And I do think among his bat and the production, I think that's where we're missing a Justin Turner type. That's where we're missing a guy that would light a fire, a Chase Utley. And Chase was very quiet about it, but you listened. That's what this team, I believe, is missing. And again, I thought Rojas was that guy. He seems to have kind of evolved into that leadership role. And I think he's doing as much as he can. But obviously he's hurt.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do when you're not playing in the game. And that's the same thing goes for Kirsch. There's only so much you can do when you're not even on the roster because you're hurt. You haven't been able to be productive for your team.
Yeah, and I'm of a different school. If it doesn't go right, I am completely in favor of the quote unquote change the voice. I don't know. 3 years in a row, it's the same thing. I get it can happen in one postseason, but 3 years in a row, if they don't get by this thing, is just it's just inexcusable. Let
me ask you this, Mace. Who do you want?
Skip Schumacher.
Who's out there that's available?
Skip Schumacher.
Skip Schumacher, really, you think? I mean, just because of the level of relatability, because he's not been away from the game
Not been away from the game for a long time. Somehow got Miami into the playoff last year. I think was a great role player, sees the game from that perspective. I think Skip Schumacher would be a great choice for the Dodgers if everything goes wrong here.
Yeah, it might. It might be what they see fit. That sometimes it's a situation of someone has to be the scapegoat and somebody has to take the fall. It's not going to be ownership,
right.
So, and ownership is the one that's giving the green light and saying to Andrew Friedman's not spending $325 million without Guggenheim okaying it.
Correct.
So it's not ownership. It's very likely not going to be Andrew Friedman because he's done a lot of really, really good things, and I think he's an incredibly bright baseball
Plus,
mind.
he's tied to Shohei Ohtani.
Well, yeah.
Well, if Shohei Ohtani, can he opt out if Andrew Friedman goes?
That I don't know. I don't know the specifics of his contract. But I do know that Shohei wanted to play in LA no matter what.
Sure.
But I love what Dave has done everything right in terms of what it means to be a manager, not just the X's and O's. I realize it's a football term, but not just the stuff of the game, but having to do everything in the community that comes along with that type of job. People don't realize it's not just managing a game, but I understand what people are saying about there needs to be a new voice. I just think it has to be the right voice because you can't just bring in a new face and think that all of the problems of it has not, it's not Dave's fault. The bottom of the order is not hitting.
Right.
It's not Dave's fault that pitchers aren't going deep into ball games. It's not Dave's fault that Freddie Freeman has an ankle issue. Our other MVP finally got 2 hits, and you can't put everything on Shohei Ohtani. I mean, the man can't hit a 5-run home run, and we can't be counting down the batters until Shohei is up again.
Yeah, by the way, that's what I'm doing when I'm watching the games. I'm counting when Shohei up. That's what I'm looking for. So, Alana, do they do it tonight?
I think so. I'm worried. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not. I don't like I don't like a bullpen game and an elimination game. But I do think they figure out a way, and hopefully, if it goes back to LA, which it would for Game 5, then I think they pull this out. But it's only going to get harder from here. So,
yeah, right, right.
As they move on to the championship series, God willing, and the World Series, it's going to get a lot more difficult. So, the Mets and the Phillies scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, sure.
So,
by the way, I think tonight the big hero. This is my call. The big hero, the difference maker tonight, Landon Dakota Knack. I think we're going to get.
How deep does he get into the game?
I think. Well, first of all, we've not seen it yet. Bergman's theory was they start with Brazier for an inning and then go to Knack. I don't.
Okay.
But I think Knack can give us 4 innings tonight.
Okay. I mean, but look at what we're talking about, you guys. I think maybe Landon Knack, perhaps Brazier, can give us hopefully 4. I mean, this is where we're at. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers that spent $1.2 billion in the offseason to get a guy that can't pitch until next year, to get a guy that's not on the postseason roster because of injury, but who had a history of arm issues, to an MVP that is hobbling.
Yep.
This is where we're at. I mean, maybe we're so spoiled and so used to this team winning all of the time that we realize our season doesn't. I don't care if they go 162-0. That to me is if you don't advance deep into the postseason and get into the World Series, if you're LA or you're New York, it's a loss. The season's a loss.
Yeah,
we're supposed to win the division.
Hey, Alana, thank you very much for coming on. I hope we get to do this again, talk about the extension of the series and get ready for the NLCS. Are you available next week for an NLCS preview, Alana?
I certainly am. For you guys of the world, of course.
Awesome. Alana Rizzo, great talking to you, great catching up. Of course, you know her from MLB Network, High Heat, and, of course, the Foul Territory Show, which is all over the place on YouTube and on Twitter and all that stuff. Hey, Pepe.
Hey,
yes.
Dodgers, I'm really, really, really upset.
Okay.
Because the Dodgers are playing like wimps. That is the truth. You know what? They lack cojones. They don't fight against a bully. The bullies are the Padres, Machado, and Tatis. Everybody, and they just lay back.
Well,
and that's not how you play baseball.
Right.
And that has to come from David Roberts. I don't care what they say. I'm not talking about him being nice or anything. I don't even know the guy. Burrell Weaver, La Sorda, or any Pinella or Billy Martin, they will come out and fight with the umpire even if they're turned out because they're going to show the players, right, I'm putting myself on the line for you guys.
Right.
What are you doing for me?
There you go, Pepe. Getting everybody fired. And by the way, everything Alana said was all the stuff you were piling on me for saying earlier that one team's got the fire, the other team doesn't. He should have gone out and at least questioned that call with Machado.
That's right.
Again.
And not only that, I mean,
the team was fired. But here's the thing, though. The team was immediately fired up the next time they came to bat. They scored. They had a grand slam.
Right.
Like, I mean, are people expecting that Roberts yelling in that one moment is going to last for 7 innings worth of hype?
Andy,
yes, it is.
Andy, you've been in basketball a lot of times. Popovich, every time his team is not playing right, what does he do? He goes and fights with the ref, and he gets thrown out. And then immediately the players start playing better. Whether they win or not, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's, by the way, I think Dave getting ejected last night would have been great.
Of course.
He made good decisions last night. I don't want him ejected.
I want him fighting.
And
I want him out there fighting for his guys.
And you know what the Dodgers are doing? The Dodgers are going like, okay, you hit me. Okay, hit me here too. Hit me here.
Wow.
Too.
God, Pepe's just walking around patting his
Pepe,
ass right now.
what is
Pepe's
going
on a roll.
Dude, that show just became not safe for work.
Yeah.
Well,
Pepe,
I mean, don't you feel like that?
I do. I absolutely. I tell you what.
Hit me here.
We found the interview between Dave Roberts and Ken Rosenthal that was in game that Alana Rizzo was talking about, where it sounded like Dave was resigned to
Ken
losing.
In Newport Beach was referring
to
as well.
Exactly. Ken did bring this up. So we'll play that for you next. We'll also get some of your calls in. Mason in Ireland. Pepe's here, 710 ESPN.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Welcome, football fans, to another game day at the Gridiron. After seeing your beautiful automobiles at the tailgate, we're calling an audible so you can save on gas. That's right. Football fans save big on game days. Save 35 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. That's a touchdown for the tailgate. Download the Shell app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and fill up with the official fuel of the Los Angeles Rams.
Restrictions apply. Limited time at participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com/Rams.
Hey, John Ireland here. Are you looking to sell your home quickly and easily without having to deal with repairs or the worry of buyers qualifying for new high-interest rate loans? Call Seller's Advantage. With thousands of satisfied customers, they're the go-to choice for homeowners looking to sell their homes fast. They'll buy your home for a competitive cash offer and can close in just days, not weeks or months. No repairs are needed because they buy homes as is. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Seller's Advantage is the fastest and most stress-free way to sell your home. If you're ready to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. Get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-2747 or sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
The Harim Foundation is inviting you to join us and ESPN Radio at our charity golf tournament, Monday, October 28th at the San Gabriel Country Club, to raise funds for scholarships. To date, we've given $138,000 in assistance, and we want to give more. Go to harimfoundation.org and click the banner at the top. Join the likes of Nomar, Sean Green, Mickey Hatcher, and others. Tune in to ESPN 710 for all the fun on the 28th. harimfoundation.org and click the banner at the top. See you there.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/LA. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams. This is Mason and Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
Hey, Landon Dakota Knack. We're playing the Knack. I think his name is Bert Avner from the Knack. Is a regular listener and regular tweeter guy.
The song now only reminds me of Reality Bites.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
There's that scene in the convenience store where they're all dancing to this.
After today, it's going to remind you of Landon Dakota Knack. Pepe Mantilla's hanging out. Oh, look, Bill Plunkett's on the line. Bill Plunkett from the Southern California News Group. What's up, man? How's San Diego?
Oh, it's beautiful as always.
So we're having all kinds of conversations here, Bill, because we're concerned about where we are in this series.
Really?
Yeah, we're concerned. So this is my question about the Dodgers. Just looking at the two dugouts, one has energy, one does not. One has fire, one does not. One has emotion, the other one looks like they're going to the office. What do you think?
I think you're probably reading into it based on the results.
Yeah.
I am. I'm very results-driven, Bill.
Well, of course you are, and you should be. That's what this thing's all about. But whenever a team loses, they don't look good. They look flat. You know, you don't get a hit after the third inning. You get one hit after the third inning. What's there to have fire and be jumping around in the dugout about? If they did, they'd look foolish.
Yeah,
now
we would be telling them, settle down and focus, play the game.
Right, exactly.
Stop yapping so much.
I think you're onto something, though, with the personalities of the two teams and the two franchises. The Padres live on emotion. It's the personalities they have on their team: Machado, Tatis, Profar, etc. They play that way. Their personalities are out that way. They're outgoing. They show the emotion on their sleeve. The way Max Muncy kind of snidely put it yesterday, they get a single and fling their bat 30 feet in the air.
Right.
Just, and the crowd gets into it. They expect that down here. It's, sorry, San Diego, it's the little brother mentality. If you're a little brother, you know what I mean, because I'm a little brother.
Right.
Now, the Dodgers, on the other hand, are more businesslike. Absolutely. That's the way they're built. They're more, corporate. And they don't have those kind of personalities on their team that do it demonstrably, where you can see it. Yasiel Puig is gone. We don't have anybody like that anymore.
So,
Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, all those guys care, but they don't show it on their sleeves because that's not their personality.
Right. Hey, let me ask you since you're there, any word on Freddie Freeman?
No, we won't know that until game time. Same as yesterday. He's gonna come in. He's gonna get his treatment. He's gonna get a little, let's say a booster shot of something or other, and go through his pregame workout. And I have no doubt that he'll be in the starting lineup. How limited he is and how long he goes remains to be seen.
Jack Harris, who I think just tweeted.
Who?
Yeah, I know.
Who?
Padres manager Mike Schultz said in his pregame press conference that the Dodgers told them Ryan Brazier starting today. Sounds right.
Yeah, Brazier has opened 2 or 3 times this year, so that makes sense.
And then we've got Landon Dakota Knack.
Maybe not.
Oh, you think maybe not?
Yeah, everything is up in the air, and anything is possible.
The show
I
is
don't
hinged
think
a lot
they're.
on
Yeah,
Big Knack.
we've really hung a lot of pressure on Landon Dakota Knack.
I love that song. I'm old enough to remember that as being the big hit in high school.
Yes.
And they were a Detroit band, and I was, grew up in Detroit, so I'm a big Knack fan. But I don't think they're committed to Landon Knack at all.
Okay.
You might see him and you might not.
Kike, shouldn't he be in the lineup tonight? This is why we got him.
Depends on if the Padres are going to ask Martin Perez to take down some innings. Yeah, he's a lefty. They're going with Dylan Cease on 3 days rest. He's a righty. I'm not sure that Kike needs to be in there. My guess is Miguel Rojas doesn't play.
Right.
So if that's the case, then yeah, maybe Kike's in there, Edmund at shortstop, or Kike at shortstop instead.
How much of this do you put on Dave Roberts?
Almost none. He won him game 1. Everybody forgets that. He made all the right pitching moves in game 1, got 6 shutout innings from the bullpen. So Where's the credit for that?
So, Bill, if this goes wrong, and we are expecting them to win tonight and force the series back to Los Angeles.
Noted optimist that I am, I walked out here yesterday and said they were going to lose Game 3. Now, I thought Michael King was going to be the reason.
Yeah.
And then they would come back and win Game 4, setting up Game 5 in L.A. I still think that's what happened.
You still think they win tonight? Awesome.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
Bill, we've been talking a lot about the mood and the personality of this Dodgers team. You've been around them all season, also during the playoffs. What is their mood right now? Like, do you sense any lack of belief or anything getting into their confidence, stuff like that?
You know, I find this amazing and amusing how every year when it gets to an important part of the season, everybody out there who's never set foot in the clubhouse or talked to any of these guys in person suddenly has an opinion on their mood and their vibe and their intensity. You guys, it's so silly. These are professional baseball players.
But you just wait a minute. You just said they've got a different attitude, a fiery attitude in the other dugout,
but he's not saying it's a problem.
That's a personality thing. That's
right.
A team culture, team chemistry, all that kind of stuff. That's not we're suddenly down 2-1 and the personality changes. These guys are professionals who live. This is the part I don't think people and fans understand. These guys have lived in a bubble of competition their whole life.
Right.
They have always been graded on batting average or wins and losses.
Sure.
That is their existence, and they are used to it. So there is not a panic or an overreaction to one thing or another. I will say at the beginning of this series, I did feel a difference that they were not going to get ambushed or surprised by the Padres this year the way they were by the Diamondbacks last year or the Padres 2 years ago. The Padres had gotten their attention and probably, put it this way, had earned their respect. And I think that's still the case.
All right. Hey, Bill, thank you for enjoy the game tonight. Again, I love the fact that you are calling for the Dodgers to win and go to Game 5 on Friday night at Dodger Stadium, because you are not a noted optimist. So I love the fact that things are looking up.
I know you read everything I write.
I read everything you write.
Yeah. At the beginning of the series, how did I predict this one would go?
You predicted it would be Dodgers in 5.
That's what I said.
Yep. By the way,
in order
was just
to get
a guess.
To 5.
Well, he
actually
set it up if you were listening.
Yeah.
He did
that was just a guess. Just a guess.
If you're going to go to 5 games, somebody was going to be in this position.
Right.
Somebody was going to be down 2-1. So here we are.
And it's us. And we win tonight. Bill, thanks, man.
Thanks, Bill.
You got it, guys.
All right, there's Bill Plunkett, Southern California News Group. He said it from the beginning, Dodgers in 5.
He also said everybody in this studio just doing armchair psychiatry.
By the way, is it not interesting, though, that Alana said one thing and Bill said something very different?
Yeah.
All the stuff Alana said, Bill's refuting. I'm on Team Alana. I'm not on Team Bill.
Well,
you are on Team Bill.
If we want to be positive, I'm thinking that the Dodgers are going to win tonight.
I do. I think so, too.
I mean, that's being positive. But the reality is they have to play better. If they don't play better, they're not going to win just because Pepe Mantilla thinks they're going to win. They're going to win. It doesn't work like that.
Yes, it does, Pepe.
Yeah, no,
Let's
we're
will into a
manifesting,
win.
Pepe. We're manifesting a win.
Right.
Tonight's a win.
That's right.
We have
Get
to
it together,
refocus,
Pepe.
though. We put
Good
all this
vibes,
on Landon,
good vibes.
Dakota Knack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently.
What's Ryan Brazier's middle name? All right, coming up next for you, get some phone calls in, 877-710-ESPN. The Dodgers are on the ropes. They're on the brink. This is everything tonight. And I'm telling you, here's the thing. You can win 100 games every year. You don't get to the World Series or you go out in the DS, unacceptable. Changes must be made. So tonight is a huge night for the Dodgers. Your call's next. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Hey, guys, it's Cappy here, and let me talk to you about this issue of dealing with your homeowner's insurance. So your home floods, right? You have a big giant flood at your house, and you realize that the insurance adjuster is trying to pay you so little that you won't be able to repair the damage. That is when you call Avner Gatt. Avner Gatt is a public insurance adjuster who is on your side. Look, you can try and negotiate with the insurance company yourself. I've tried. You're going to find out very quickly it is not that simple. Avner Gatt and his team negotiate on your behalf to make sure you're getting the best possible outcome, not the insurance company. He and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for so many years. It's all they do. They've got the experience. They've got the industry know-how that you need on your side. Now, some of these folks used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team, and Avner Gatt himself has 20 years of experience in this industry. Avner Gatt has one of the largest teams of professional, licensed public adjusters in California, and yes, the size is important. Avner has a unique winning recipe for handling homeowners' insurance claims. No one, and I mean no one, messes around with Avner Gatt and his team. Call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, or visit AvnerGatt.com. That's AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. You call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256. Avner takes the call himself. Hello!
Mr. October? Ha! I'm Mr. Morongo. I hit home runs for good times. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Whether your ace is on the mound or in your hand, it's a win-win watching all of baseball's playoff games at Sideline Sports Bar.
Number 2.
Get a 1.79-quart terracotta pot when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 15th.
And the number 1 reason.
Yin Yang Twins, featuring Young Jock, live October 18th.
Morongo, good times.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the number 1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The number 1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Let me tell you something. Morales just came in here and told me what good radio is and what good radio is not. And let me just tell you, he's a dick. Now, let's get some phone calls in. Let's go to Jake. You're on sports. You're on Dodgers Graffiti. Go.
I am calling. You were talking about calling your shrink. I am not your shrink, but I am a shrink.
Oh,
and
good.
I don't have anything that optimistic to say. I'm probably as pessimistic a Dodger fan as they come. But I wanted to recommend some grounding techniques for anyone out there listening.
Good. Let her rip. Tell us.
We could do it together.
Okay.
Well, you could inhale for 4 seconds. You could hold your breath for 7 seconds and exhale for 8 seconds. If you find yourself with your heart beating as fast as mine is while Mookie hits a ball that Jurickson's about to catch in left field, you can try to do that. But I'm probably not going to do a good job of it myself tonight.
Right.
Will this stuff work for the actual players on the field? Like, should they be doing more of this stuff?
I mean, I got to imagine that they've got a sports psychologist of some sort, and they've got things that they're doing. But, I mean, listen, a slump is a slump. I feel like it's pretty hard to get out of your own head.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you look at Mookie Betts last night. He hit that ball to the exact same place, and you watch him start to come in as if he was already out. And that's got to say something about his psyche, the first game versus the second. So hoping we can figure something out because they look like they've got a lot more fight than we do.
All right. Thank you very much, Jake. Lineup is out. Laura, do you have it in front of you?
Yep. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Gavin Lux, Tommy Edman, and Enrique Hernandez.
There you go. Kike's in there.
You called
Kike in that at the bottom of the lineup to get on to tee up Shohei Ohtani. I like that
We're
a lot.
calling him Enrique because I need him to step up.
There you go.
This is an interesting comment in the Mafia from Dave Malio.
Okay.
If Dave Roberts is to blame for the Dodgers' quote lack of fire, is there anyone in the world who thinks that Mike Schilt is responsible for the Padres' fire? Because that guy is low key.
He looks so fiery.
No, he doesn't.
He looks like my insurance
That's
agent.
a really smart way of
Wait,
framing this.
here's my point. Here's to his point. When you see the Padres and you guys talk about fire and you guys talk about passion, it's not their manager. It's the guys. It's the team. So that's what I'm saying. I get it. We want Dave Roberts to do something different. But we've heard, Mookie's a leader in that ball club. Okay, Mookie, come on, step it up.
Yeah.
Kike's always been the guy that's doing the dances and doing the rah, rah, rah. All right, Kike, let's go. Like, it can't.
Right, this is a big spot for Kike.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if your manager isn't doing it, then you rally yourself up. So those guys are doing that. You see Tatis, you see Machado, you see Profar, igniting the Dodger fans. And granted, they were being idiots.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, all those things, it's the players. I don't see their manager doing that. So shout out to that guy.
But the manager had to do something to push the players.
I get that, Pepe. But if you don't have that person that's doing it, and we can translate it to the Lakers sometimes, right? People are like, Darvin Ham always has his hands in his pocket. But then you would have LeBron. You would have another player be there and be like, yo, boom, 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 let's go.
But the spirit of the manager goes into the players.
Darvin was dead. Like, he was not.
Okay. And what he got?
Fired.
We got what?
He got fired. We have somebody else.
Yeah. And I think, by the way, there will be a huge debate about exactly what happens if tonight doesn't go well. All right, so coming up next, we're going to do some game of games. It's your game today, Andy.
It is my game.
All right, so we got me, Pepe, Brian, and Lar. Got a full house.
Pepe may be good at this game.
No, we're going to go to game of games right now. Why?
Oh, no, you had some, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, let's go to game of games.
Okay, cool.
All right, that's coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Come out for a day of golf and fun and help support the men and women who fight for our freedom. On Monday, November 11th, the Pacific Palms Resort in the City of Industry will play host to the 2024 Land of the Free Foundation Veterans Day Golf Classic. All proceeds from the tournament will go directly to charities who support the men and women of our armed forces. For more information on the tournament, please visit the website landofthefreefoundation.org or give them a call at 562-833-4361.
Hey, it's Mace. NBA basketball is 13 days away, and the best place to watch all the action is Cosm. It's revolutionary technology bringing the sports experience to life. Visit Cosm.com. Enjoy NBA action in shared reality all season long.
Everyone knows Earl Hershiser has won numerous awards for his performance on the field. But off the field, he's a great humanitarian, a true friend and partner of mine, and a real bulldog when it comes to business.
Baseball taught me to work hard and respect people. Rotolo Chevrolet does both, and that's why I joined the team.
Rotolo Chevrolet has been Dealer of the Year for 12 straight years. Like Earl, we know something about winning.
I believe they call that a dynasty.
Come see what the fun is all about at Rotolo Chevrolet.
Hey, John Ireland here. Are you going through a life change? Whether you're downsizing, inheriting a home, or ready for a change, Seller's Advantage is here to make selling your home easy. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. No repairs, no hassle. With Seller's Advantage, you're in control. Close as quickly as you want and do it on your own terms. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Lakers preseason is here. Take the Lakers with you on the go and download the Lakers app, presented by BB Go. Stay up to date with game start times so you don't miss any of the action. Receive the latest game news, highlights, photos, Lakers promotions, and more as we head into the new season. Receive play-by-play updates with our live activities feature. Download the Lakers app now for preseason basketball. Let's go, Lakers!
Los Angeles, your Rams will host the Las Vegas Raiders right here at SoFi Stadium on Sunday, October 20th at 1:05 p.m. Come pack the Rams house to cheer on Kyron Williams, Matthew Stafford, and the Rams as they go head-to-head against Max Crosby and the Raiders in this NFC-AFC clash. Tickets are on sale now at therams.com/LV. Again, that is therams.com/LV to watch your LA Rams face off against the Raiders on Sunday, October 20th at SoFi Stadium. See you at the Rams house.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland.
Game of Games.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. It is Game of Games time, and it is Andy Kamenetsky's game today. We've got Pepe, me, Brian, and Laura to play.
I think Pepe will have an advantage.
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Andy, what's the game?
Well, on this day in 1940, one of the most influential musicians was born, John Lennon. He was murdered, obviously, in 1980. Had that incident not taken place, he may have turned 84 years old today. And in honor of the legend, we're going to do some John Lennon trivia.
Okay. John Lennon trivia. All right.
We begin. Which future Beatle did John Lennon meet first? Paul McCartney, George Harrison, or Ringo Starr? Paul, George, or Ringo? Mace goes first.
I am going to say that was Paul. Pepe.
I think it's Paul.
Laura?
I'll go Ringo.
And Brian?
George.
The answer is Paul McCartney. So Pepe and
right.
Mace on the board. Yeah.
Are you keeping score too?
I'll keep score.
Yeah, keep score.
Backup score.
I'm the worst at keeping score.
Paul and John actually met while playing in a band they had as high schoolers. George Harrison was an eventual member of the band as well. What was the name of this band, their high school band? The Skiffle Central, the Proper Milk, or the Quarrymen? The Skiffle Central, the Proper Milk, or the Quarrymen? Pepe goes first.
The Quarrymen.
Laura.
B, the middle one.
The Proper Milk.
Yep.
Quarrymen.
The Quarrymen?
I think it is the Quarrymen.
It is actually the Quarrymen. That is the name of the group. So everyone is now on the board except for Laura.
Yeah,
Mace,
sounds about right.
Mace and Pepe are in the lead. What was John Lennon's first musical instrument? Trumpet, banjo, or flute? Trumpet, banjo, or flute? Laura goes first.
I'll go with the flute.
Brian.
I'll take banjo.
I'm going banjo.
Banjo.
Banjo it is.
Nice.
He got it from his beloved mother, Julia, and eventually the origin story of his banjo was turned into a play called Lennon's Banjo. During the 1960s, John Lennon attempted to turn what has become a very popular book and now modern IP into a live-action movie. Which one was it? Lord of the Rings, Dune, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Lord of the Rings, Dune, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, John Lennon wanted to make into a movie in the 60s. Brian goes first.
Dune.
Mace.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Pepe.
I have to be different. Lord of the Rings.
Dune.
The answer is Lord of the Rings. Listen to this
so
casting.
Pepe takes the point.
Listen to this casting. Lennon wanted to play Gollum, Paul McCartney as Frodo, Ringo as Sam, and George Harrison as Gandalf.
Whoa.
So he'd really thought this thing out.
Wow, he really planned it out.
Okay, for the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus special, John Lennon played in a one-time supergroup called the Dirty Mac with Keith Richards, Eric Clapton, and Jimi Hendrix's drummer Mitch Mitchell. When introducing the band, John referred to everyone by their actual name except himself. He gave himself a nom de plume. What was the nom de plume? Mel Torment, the Honorable John St. John Johnson, or Winston Leg Thigh? Mel Torment, the Honorable John St. John Johnson, or Winston Leg Thigh? Mace, I believe, goes first.
Honorable John
St. John Johnson.
St. John Johnson, yeah.
Pepe.
Same.
Laura?
I'm going to do the thigh one, please.
Winston Leg Thigh.
Yeah, that one.
I like St. John Johnson.
Laura, you are finally on the board.
Oh, wow.
Winston Leg Thigh was the name he introduced himself in the Rock and Roll Circus, the Rolling Stones special. After the Beatles broke up, John Lennon wrote a song called How Do You Sleep, which was essentially a diss track against Paul McCartney. Which former Beatle played on it? Ringo Starr, George Harrison, or original Beatles drummer Pete Best? Ringo Starr, George Harrison, Pete Best played on the diss track How Do You Sleep? Pepe goes first.
I'm going to say Pete Best.
Laura.
What he said,
Pete Best?
I'll go Pete Best.
Yeah, I think Pete Best.
You are all wrong. It is George Harrison.
Because I thought, why would you put Pete Best in there?
To trick y'all.
Oh,
That's why
you
I did.
You did.
Let me tell you something. If you ever want to hear a musician shred another musician, listen to How Do You Sleep. It is brutal. There was a famous incident where John Lennon and Harry Nilsson, extremely drunk, got kicked out of the Troubadour on Sunset, the club, because they began heckling the Smothers Brothers, who were performing on stage. An iconic 70s movie star was randomly with their group. She did not take part in the heckling, and John Lennon eventually sent her flowers the next day to apologize. Who was this star? Faye Dunaway, Liza Minnelli, or Pam Grier, the star with them the night John Lennon got kicked out of the Troubadour? Laura goes first.
Wait, what was it?
It was Faye Dunaway, Liza Minnelli, or Pam
Liza.
Grier. Liza?
Yes.
Pam Grier.
Liza.
Brian has it correct.
Yeah,
It is
baby.
Pam
God, I love
Grier.
Pam Grier. She's
Foxy
so great.
Brown.
Yeah.
There's a great podcast about this, by the way, too. I learned in this podcast, The Plot Thickens, Pam Grier at one point was engaged to Kareem.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I
wow.
love
They were in
the
a
plot
really...
thickens.
I did not
I
know
love
that.
the plot ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great, great podcast. Which president, U.S. president, attempted to deport John Lennon?
Mm-hmm.
Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard Nixon, or Gerald Ford? Johnson, Nixon, or Ford attempted to deport John Lennon? I think Brian goes first.
Let's go Nixon.
Mace.
Nixon.
It has to be Nixon.
Nixon.
Yeah, it was tricky.
I was like, dude, that was the only one that made sense to me.
He did try
to deport a Beatle.
Eventually, he got caught up in the little thing called Watergate and kind of forgot.
Yeah,
A
that's
little
right.
thing,
A
yeah.
hotel.
Mark
Apartment.
David. Okay, right now we've got Pepe at 5, Mace and BC at 4, Laura at 2. I've got a couple more. Actually, only one more in a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Oh, no, 2 more in a tiebreaker.
I'm
All
out.
right.
Mark David Chapman is the man who shot and killed John Lennon, but it turned out he was determined to kill anybody famous, and John Lennon just was a convenient target in that moment. Many other famous people were on this list of targets, including another Beatle. Which Beatle was it? Paul, George, or Ringo that Mark Chapman had also had on his list? Mace goes first.
I'll go George.
George.
Laura.
I'll go Paul.
I'll go George as well.
Laura getting herself back
It
in
is
this
Paul,
game.
huh?
It was Paul McCartney. Others on the list included David Bowie, George C. Scott, Johnny Carson, Jackie Onassis, Ronald Reagan, and Liz Taylor.
Wow.
So Mark Chapman, he thought this thing out. Which of these Beatles songs did John Lennon once say was his least favorite?
Okay.
Run for Your Life, Rocky Raccoon, or Rain? Run for Your Life, Rocky Raccoon, or Rain, John Lennon once said was his least favorite Beatles song. Pepe goes first.
Run for Your Life.
Laura?
Rain.
Rocky Raccoon.
Rain.
Pepe, I believe, has a stranglehold on this game.
Oh, is
He's
that
now
right?
up 6. It was run for your
Didn't
life.
I say it? I called it.
Yeah, because the next closest is Mace with 4 and Brian with 4.
And how many are left?
I've just got the bonus question.
Oh, it's all over. Just do the bonus question for fun.
How many number 1 solo hits did John Lennon have? Closest to the number wins. Number 1 solo hits did John Lennon have? Mace goes first.
6.
Pepe.
5.
Laura?
I will go 7.
11.
Pepe is your winner. He only had 2.
Is that right?
He only had 2. Whatever
Should've gone
gets you
3.
through the night in 1974, and just like starting over posthumously in 1980, Imagine only reached number 3.
Oh, I was going to say, what about Imagine? It
Yeah,
didn't
me
really
too.
reach
I
number
was
3.
thinking
So,
about
wow.
As predicted, Pepe takes it.
All right.
Pepe,
There you have it. Nice work, Pepe,
That
doing the
means that-
Freddie Freeman
that means
dance.
that the Dodgers are going to win today.
And by the way, Freddie Freeman in the lineup
Eddie,
tonight. In
yep,
case you missed
yep.
that, he is in the lineup at Petco Park tonight. The Dodgers obviously need this one. I wanted to play something, Brian. You pulled that aside. Alana, a little while, mentioned that Dave Roberts did an in-game interview with Ken Rosenthal, and she had a problem with it. Do you have it there, Brian? Go ahead and play it.
Back here at Petco Park with Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. Dave, how did you see that last inning unfold?
You know what? It's just we gave him too many outs. We gave him 3 outs. I thought Walker swung the baseball well, but when you give it a very good offensive team extra outs, big innings can happen.
How do you deal with your pitching staff the rest of this game? How long do you stick with Walker?
Yeah, you know what I think right now? You got to think about, obviously not waving the white flag and just understanding that, you still got to win 2 games to win the series, and, who's available tomorrow, how to best get through this game, how much Walker has left in the tank. So right now, he's going to go back out there, and we got some long leverage guys or some long relievers. So we'll see right now, Kenny, but we're not about to wave the white flag quite yet.
Dave, thank you.
So Alana thought he was waving the white flag. He actually said twice not waving the white flag.
Yeah, I like I said,
I don't have a problem
I think
with
people read into a lot of what was being
I don't
said.
have a problem with that interview.
I don't have a problem either.
Yeah, I mean, he was not throwing in the towel. He was doing the opposite.
Composed.
Plus, he was regrouping after a really bad inning.
I wonder
he was
if people.
composed.
I think people may have heard him mentioning the long relievers, and they were projecting that onto tomorrow.
Yes. Well, he said tomorrow. You got to think about who's available tomorrow. All that
You
stuff.
mean today?
Right. Exactly. Tomorrow was yesterday for today.
And
yes.
did they announce?
Hang on a
who's
second.
gonna-
Let me get this straight. Tomorrow was yesterday for today. Got it.
Indeed.
So who's going to open for the
Probably
Dodgers
could've
today?
said that better.
It's going to be Ryan Brazier. Is going to get the start. He's the opener, so he'll throw an inning, and then afterwards, I mean, I thought landed Dakota Knack, but I think it was Bill Plunkett that said it's not guaranteed that that's who it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's inside the clubhouse.
Right,
He
he's in the
hears
dugout
these
every day.
things.
Exactly. All right, so who do we got coming up next, Laura?
So we have Cappy, and Cappy has a guest with him all the way from South.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this.
Yeah,
Let's hit the super station.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason and Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
So this is interesting. The big CY.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Cappy
That's
are
right.
down in San Diego live from where are you guys?
Well, the big CY. You want to fill everybody in?
We are at the Gas Lamp Tavern in San Diego, South, ahead of Game 4 of the NLDS between the Padres and the Dodgers. There are about, at this moment, Mace, I'd say a baker's dozen full of folks, groups in here looking at us, and we are gazing our eyes upon what will be a very, very busy downtown activity, Scott, before this ball game gets started.
Yeah, so Mace, let me set the scene for you.
Yeah.
Yesterday, me and the big CY are going to drive from ESPN LA at downtown LA, and we're going to drive to San Diego. So we're driving down, and Clinton says, well, you know, I'm going to go to the game tonight, and then I guess tomorrow I'll get on the train and I'll go back up and I'll go into the studio.
Right.
And I said, okay. And he goes, but what if I decide to stay for game 4? I said, okay, well, you could come to my house and we could do a broadcast from the crib.
Sure.
And then the big CY said, but what if we wanted to broadcast from downtown San Diego so we could be in the middle of all of the mess?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think I know a guy.
You said, I got a guy. Don't front. You immediately knew your guy, and you went to your guy, and now we are in the lovely establishment right now looking at a bar that is going to serve a lot of people. And please do tell us about how that developed, because we're going to get to this later in the show, but let's just say, by hook and by crook, we're on the air.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that time we did a broadcast? I'm trying to remember where in Anaheim we were, but we literally walked into the bar, we unplugged their dartboard, we plugged our Comrex machine into their dartboard,
wow.
And now, Mace, we are doing a dartboard broadcast today.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Was this the Bastards Bar?
No.
Good guess, but no.
No, that was the bastard. That was a different deal.
Okay.
But the bottom line is this. I want everybody to know we don't have any engineers with us today.
Zippy.
Okay.
We don't have any.
By the
like,
way, neither do we. But go ahead.
I've done what I've reached all capability today. I'm tapped at this point. So if we fall off the air, I will take full responsibility for it. But I can just tell you this: we're here, we're up, we're live. Mace, do we sound okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Actually,
Okay,
terrific.
This is old school radio nonsense, Mace, and this is where I want to go to you as the veteran in this. What are I know you've done a lot of wacky remotes and a lot of wacky bits in your day.
Zany too.
Excuse me, zany.
It was
right.
hijinks.
Yeah,
Zany
never
hijinks.
forget.
Yeah.
This is not super zany, but it is typical regular. I imagine we're going to get some folks in here. I imagine we're going to get some voices. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I know you're not jealous because you stay home all the time these days, which is fine. Donuts need to be eaten, but I'm pretty excited about this.
Now,
man.
are you
Donuts need to be
promoting
eaten.
the place
Wow.
that you're at, and you want people to come there, or they're just going to ramble in on their own? How's it work?
I don't think we have a choice.
Yeah, here's what I'd like to do. If you are a Dodger fan and you are currently in your car and you are driving south or
South.
right, let's say you're already here and you're listening on the ESPN LA app and you're looking for where can I go to pregame, we are at the Gas Lamp Tavern. That's the name of the bar, the Gas Lamp Tavern, and we would love to have everybody come by. It'd be great.
It'd be great. Absolutely.
So what's the vibe? And I'm sure it's like the greatest moment in the history of San Diego tonight, right, Cappy? It's like the best thing that's ever happened to San Diego if they win tonight, right?
Well, unfortunately, I have to say that you might be right, but I wish that you weren't, because here's the thing. The Padres 2 years ago beat the Dodgers in this same round.
Yes.
Correct.
And I can remember pretty much feeling satisfied. Like,
Right.
okay, I'm good. They did what they needed to do. They finally beat Big Brother. Okay, fine, I'm good. Now, there were other people that were like, no, Philadelphia, National League Championship Series. You got to
Right.
win and go to the World Series. Well, that didn't happen. And truth be told, I was physically and mentally wiped after the Padres had beaten the Dodgers. This time around, it could be a little different, that if, and this is a big if, the Padres were to win tonight or to win this series, it wouldn't be enough to just win now. Now you'd want to win the whole thing. You'd want to make it to the
Sure.
World Series and you'd want to win the World Series.
Sure.
This is a better team, is what he's getting at.
Yeah,
Mason.
no,
I
it
think
is.
that expectations have gone up.
I was going to say, what's it like to have actual expectations, Cappy? How are you adjusting to that?
It is a whole new world,
Yeah.
A-Cam. It is a completely new world. It really is. Hey, look who just walked in right here.
Who's that?
Sergeant Alan Pena, retired United States Marine Corps. He's wearing his Tatis jersey.
2-3. It's embroidered too.
Yeah.
Listen. Authentic jerseys are a thing that San Diego does. None of this replica nonsense. I haven't seen a replica jersey on somebody that considered themselves a real fan since I got here. Looking good.
Yeah. So it is true, guys, that this could be tonight celebrated should the Padres win. like as if they won the World Series. I, of course, would implore everybody to understand, dude, relax.
It's the DS.
Right, relax.
Yeah, it is only the DS.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
no, I actually, we talked to a few people here. We talked to Alana Rizzo. We talked to Bill Plunkett for a while. I have a feeling, I think they're going to win tonight. I think the Dodgers are going to win this game tonight.
Why?
Because, first of all, Freeman's healthy.
He is?
Well,
Is
he's
that right?
playing. He's playing.
Okay.
He's out there.
Active.
He's
Active is the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love the fact that Kike's in the lineup. He's been great in big moments.
Yeah.
I think Landon Dakota Knack, following Ryan Brazier, is going to be a really good Ryan David Brazier. We're adding middle names to everybody now.
Him too.
And I feel like the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani, if you look at it, I think has 3 home runs off of Dylan Cease now. He's like 5 for 17 with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. I think it's a good night for Ohtani. By the way, Kike hits Dylan Cease. So does Mookie. Mookie also hits Dylan Cease. So I think that the Dodgers are going to score tonight.
So you think that in combination of singular matchups with Dylan, on top of what is effectively a bullpen game that works, is the formula here?
Well,
Like,
what's the greatest strength of the Dodgers pitching staff? It's the bullpen. So
Correct.
I'd rather have the bullpen in charge than any of our starting pitchers at this moment.
That's all they have. So they're going to have to win because it's either win or go home. So they're going to have to get the spirit and the real players, please show up.
No, Pepe makes a good point. I mean, that's all they have is something that one might have considered one could have gone to earlier in the series, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah. So let me ask you a couple of things about last night. See why you're obviously tied in here really well.
Sure.
So I think that if you look at these games, all of the energy is in the Padres clubhouse, and the Dodgers clubhouse, it is very, very businesslike. Do you think that's fair?
I do.
Do you think it means something?
I think it means a lot in the context of we've said for seasons that, the Dodgers will be fine. The talent will take over. I just don't know that maxim makes sense anymore. The idea that if you've got veterans, if you've got guys that have done it before, it's just going to not exactly flip a switch, but ramp up. That ramp up has not happened with this iteration of players. And we can get into this, and we will later on the program. Who they are is as important as what the talent level is from a personality, from a gumption standpoint, if you will, baseball-wise. I don't know that they have that gear to get to right now, and I think that matters a lot, Mace. I really do.
What, if any, role do you think Clinton, do you think Dave Roberts has with making that happen? Is that within his power?
Well, thanks for previewing the entire 5 o'clock hour for
us.
Well,
we did the same thing.
That began at 7
Mace loves the 5 o'clock hour.
We became the same thing when we were over Travis and DeMarco this morning.
Trust
it's all
me, I
one
know, because
subject,
I called in and yelled at Greg and Morales about this at 7 in the morning when I woke up overlooking the lovely bay here in San Diego. But I think he plays a part in it, but it's a slow burn again. Right now, it's a different discussion than what it might have been over the course of whatever amount of seasons you want to qualify as being underachieving. And you can start wherever you want in that post-2020, I guess. And that's the thing, AK. You can't just say, okay, this game to that game, button-to-button pressing in terms of bullpen or pinch runners or defensive substitutions. That's the problem, is that over the course of time, of course Dave is responsible for a lot of it. That's just what it is being a manager. But it's tough to say right now that one thing or another is going to really make that much of a difference because of the way that the stew, if you will, has all come together.
So here's my question. If this does go wrong, is Dave still here?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's tough. I think it's a situation where something's got to change. But it also begs the question, what are y'all really doing as a franchise in general? If this guy is not good enough for the position, it's a real question that I'm hoping to answer, and probably something I'm going to write a column about.
Well, it's see why it's obvious that if the Dodgers don't win today, I mean, enough is enough. I mean, Robert has to go.
Yeah, I hear you, Pepe, but here's the thing. There's a big who you're going to get question. And I know Skip Schumacher's out there. I know
Skip Schumacher's my pick.
I know there's other guys that are out there, but what Dave does really well, and I said this morning again to Morales and Greg, is that, Scott, you might know a little bit about this. He's the dad that says, get banged up all you want. Just keep it in my basement.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go anywhere. He's not necessarily the guy that's going to say, I'm getting in your kitchen, and you better go out there and get somebody or else you're out of the house.
But
that's not the guy he is.
I do think, though, that you could justify keeping Dave Roberts if they lose this game. And if they go out in this series in the early part of the playoffs and they lose to division rival, little brother, et cetera, I think you could legitimately justify why you would keep Dave Roberts. I'll give you a couple of examples. Number one, the entire starting pitching staff has been decimated.
Yeah.
Depleted.
I compared it yesterday to an offensive line. When Yamamoto is the only starting pitcher that's in your lineup right now, in your rotation right now, and he was the only guy that was in your rotation on opening day.
At the beginning, yeah.
That means 4 of your 5 starting offensive linemen are no longer with you in Game 17, so to speak.
Right.
So your entire starting pitching staff decimated by injuries. And, oh, by the way, besides the frontline guys like 6, 7, and 8 are also kind of.
By the way, I was going to say, this offensive line is really big because I think they're down like 7 starters or even 8 starters.
Right, because if you throw in Dustin May and you throw in Clayton Kershaw,
Gavin Stone.
You're going deeper, right? So that's number one. Number two, we get to this time of the season. Even if Freddie Freeman is going to play tonight, let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Do you really think you're getting full Freddie Freeman?
75% at best, in my opinion.
I mean, last night, I give him his credit. You know, he jumped up and made a play at first base. He came down on the bag, and he hurt his ankle again. He did hit late in the game, and he got on base, but you could see he could barely get to first base. And that's when they pinch ran for him.
Right. He's the one guy, like, in terms of questioning heart that may be going on. Like, that dude has been giving it all this entire season.
That's right. So now you've got your entire starting pitching staff decimated. You've got your third best player, essentially, your starting first baseman, who's hurting right now very badly. You know, Rojas has been taking the brunt of what happened last night because of the play at second base where he didn't toss the ball. Instead, he decided to go try and tag second base himself. Yep. And he's not 100%.
Right.
So if he
by the
was
way, he's not in the lineup tonight. So,
right.
Yeah,
so
but
that's keeping him out.
that play wasn't because he was hurt. That play was mentally.
It was just a dumb play.
He made a mistake.
I agree, but can I just say I'm not saying 100%. I'm just saying that if he's a fully 100% healthy guy, maybe he's a tenth of a step faster than he was, and he actually could make that play. So look, your starting shortstop is hurt, your first baseman is hurt, Ohtani never pitched, the pitching staff was decimated. I mean, all of these reasons might make you think, well, why would we blame this on the manager?
Let me jump in real quick, Pepper, to say this. Here's the other thing. Contractually, there's a factor here, which is after next season, Dave's contract is up.
Yes.
I could see this being a Dusty Baker with the Nationals kind of situation where it's not a firing, it's not anything other than just, we're good, you go your way, we go our way, and that's just the way this ends. And if the Dodger fan base is willing to take another year and just say, hey, guess what? You wrote it out, Doc. DR, we love you. Okay, I can understand that. That's the lone situation in which I think that actually makes sense. But that's also tough considering all the times we've said literally on these airwaves, Scott, that Dave might be needing to go.
You know, one on the flip side of everything I just gave you as to why you could keep him, I'll give you one like very right now reason why I could see the Dodgers saying it's time for a change. Mm-hmm. This whole Manny Machado controversy, I will admit, and you guys know I'm a big Dave Roberts apologist.
Sure.
It really did make him look soft.
Didn't love it.
It really made him look soft. And it didn't really represent the team well. I don't think. It's just a perception.
Why he did it.
You know why I think? I think this was his attempt at firing up and rallying troops, and it demonstrated...
And messing with Manny?
Well, I think it demonstrates why you can't fake this stuff. Because for Roberts, it doesn't come natural.
Either you have it or you don't.
Right. And that's not to say that Roberts needs it, doesn't need it, whatever. But when you attempt to fake who you're not, more often than not, you don't pull it off.
Well, Pepe, does he have it or not?
I was going to say, that's the best drop I've heard from Pepe
I love that.
in forever. Either you have it or you don't.
Right, you either have it or you don't.
You either have it or you don't.
Exactly.
Right. You can say whatever you want, Cappy, and then you talk about if doesn't exist in life. What about years past? This is not the first time for Roberts. Last year, what happened last year? On the previous year,
Diamondbacks went to the World Series, Pepe. Yes, they beat them and went all the way to the big show.
Pepe has been so fired up today.
I can hear that.
Good.
He's been so fired up.
Well, Mace, here's the thing. I'm not hearing any confidence in your voice.
No, that's not true. I think we're winning tonight.
Well, I'm hearing like more hope than I am belief. And I felt the same way yesterday. I felt like you were hoping more than you were actually believing.
Tonight I'm believing. I honestly do think they win tonight.
Me too.
I honestly do think they win and force a game 5.
This feels like, and not to use a crass metaphor here, but this feels like you're going out and you think you look good. It's not, I'm going out and I know I'm getting lucky. That's the difference between what it feels like with you, Mace.
Mace, are you going to get lucky tonight?
Yeah. Getting lucky.
Okay.
Getting lucky.
Nice.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, guys, we'll let you take it away.